Week 5 of our 2025 Iowa High School football season. It is homecoming night here, homecoming Friday for the Columbus Catholic Sailors. We have a battle of the high seas against the Sailors versus the Pirates from Hudson. I am Mark Chelson, right alongside Jeff Bradley. Jeff, we got an incredible night for football here. 70 degrees, clear skies, a little bit of a breeze. I know you sat down with Coach pregame. We're going to get to that interview in just a second. What did Coach have to say about the game tonight?
Well, he knows how important this is. I mean, you don't want to look ahead, but it's a district game. They've beat Sumner Fred, so you feel good if you can take out Hudson. You got a chance against Sumner Fred, and then fight it out with LaPorte City and AP for the title.
The Sailors come in 2-2 on the year. Hudson got their first win of the season, as Jeff said, against Sumner Fredericksburg last week. They come in 1-3. This will be the second week of district play, so really a big game for both teams here. The Sailors get their first district win against Jessup last week. They looked really good. I was at the game. Still a few mistakes to clean up. I think they had a couple of turnovers again, but overall their defense played really, really well, and I think that's one of the keys tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, those guys that were hurt against Dyersville, Beckman, and then hurt the following week with Grundy Center. Slowly getting those guys back against Lisbon and Jessup. Still missing Thomas Faraday. Would be a huge asset in the offensive and defensive line, but they're getting healthy. They're playing a little better football and a little, I'm not going to say mistake-free, but less mistakes in the past.
We're going to take a quick break here and break for prayer and the national anthem, and we'll be right back with Coach's interview.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God, our loving Father, we thank you for this opportunity of athletic competition. Bless everyone here with a sincere desire to observe the tradition of good sportsmanship and to respect our opponents, their fans, the officials, and friends of Columbus Catholic High School. Regardless of the final score, help us to appreciate the effort put forward by the players from both teams. Lead us all to you and grant us a place in your eternal kingdom. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Please join us for the singing of the national anthem by Columbus senior Carly Morgan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
As we mentioned, Jeff Bradley sat down on the sideline with Coach Schmidt for pregame, and we're going to give you the video here right now.
Jeff Bradley here with Brad Schmidt, head coach, Columbus Sailors. Hey, first thing I want to ask is, sitting at 2-2, you're 0-2, played two real good teams, decimated by injuries. How's the transition now that you got a little momentum going? Now you're 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing you want to do is you want to get better each week. You know, I mean, they say the biggest jumps from week 1 to week 2. You know, our guys have gotten a lot of experience, you know, especially those first 2 weeks playing some quality competition. You know, we kind of shifted our mindset where it's like, hey, you know, next man up, and you know, the kids have bought in and, you know, kind of stayed the course. You know, from the staff to the guys filming, you know, we knew what we needed to do, and, you know, we feel good the position we're in right now.
So it's homecoming tonight. Man, you get a lot of alumni back. It's all good and well. What about the distraction part? How do you keep kids focused on just the game and, hey, let's not worry about the dance tomorrow night and all the relatives in the crowd?
You just try to be where your feet are, you know, play present. You know, you only get a few of these, you know, and it goes fast. So we just been trying to sell it's just another game. You know, we're at home. Yeah, it's homecoming, be an extended halftime, but at the end of the day, you know, it's the old Norman Dale line in Hoosiers. You know, the field's 100 yards by 53 in the third or whatever it is. And, you know, we just got to go and each play, you know, take it one play at a time and focus on winning that rep.
Yeah, so we're just about a half hour away from kickoff. What are, like, the keys to taking Hudson Pirates out tonight?
Well, I think the big thing we have to focus on, and it's the same, you know, I say this a lot, and it's cliche, but it is true. I think the team that makes the fewest mistakes is going to win the ball game tonight. I mean, obviously, you can't miss tackles. You got to block well. You can't have mental errors. I think those 3 areas are 3 areas that we're continually stressing with our guys. Hey, we got to do these 3 things at a high level. You're not going to win every rep, but we got to minimize mental mistakes. We got to get 11 hands to the football. And we got to fire off the ball on offense.
Hey, last thing, like I talked about, decimated by injuries early in the year, starting to work some guys back. And are we back at 100% now, or real close?
Not quite. You know,
fair catch that next time.
Yep, Thomas is still out. Faraday, we're hoping next week. But other than that, we are at a clean bill of health, which feels good. You know, and yeah, I mean, it's the next man up mentality, and these kids have embraced it, and we're looking forward to it.
Beautiful night for a game. Good
Beautiful
luck.
night. Hey, appreciate it. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Great job there, Jeff, interviewing Coach Schmidt pregame down on the sidelines. We are about 1 minute from kickoff. Jeff, what are you looking for out of the Sailors tonight?
Yeah, I think try to assert any dominance you have right away. It doesn't matter if you end up, you know, getting the ball on offense or starting on defense. Hey, 3 and out on defense, sustained drive on offense.
Totally agree. The Sailors in their black tops, white pants, and white helmets. The visiting Hudson Pirates in all white with the blue helmets. Looks like, trying to see here if we won the toss or if we're kicking or receiving. We'll get that figured out. I think a lot of tonight's going to come down to the turnover game, as it always does in high school football. The Sailors really struggled to hold on to the football in the first 2 games. They took losses to a good Beckman team and a very good Grundy Center team. And then they had a little get-right game against Jessup, and had a good win at Jessup. And before that, in week 3, they had a really nice, tough-fought win down at Lisbon.
Well, and the Lisbon one sticks out a little bit more to me because it took some grit. You hadn't won for a few weeks, going even back into last fall. And it just took some grit at the end there to, you know, they were going for it on 4th down. Columbus shut them out and got the win.
Well, especially with the 0-2 start. You go 0-3 and you lose that one, and then your mind starts playing games on you. You only got 1 win last year. Is it going to be the same? And here's kickoff. Nolan, little pooch kick down towards the sideline. Ooh. That one's straight out of bounds. Flag on the play for illegal procedure for the kickoff out of bounds, and Hudson's going to take the ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Kemonte Murray fell from the 35-yard line, out of bounds, of course. So that will give Hudson a pretty good little spot to start here at the 35-yard line.
Now Hudson moving right to left on your television screen. Again, Sailors in their black tops, And a lot of times Brad likes that little pooch. I think he tries to put it right down there about the 20, and a lot of I've seen the Sailors recover that kick many, many times in the past.
They've had a ton of success with that. Nolan just, put it 5 yards too far to the right. Otherwise, that's a really good kick.
Cade Roberts, quarterback for Hudson. Split backfield, man in motion. Shotgun, fake. He's going deep. He's got a man wide open down the field. Blown coverage. Hudson has the ball, caught down to the 20-yard line of the Sailors. The little hitch and go burned the corner over on the right side of the offense.
Yeah, good little pitch and catch. I wouldn't even say it was a pitch. That's a good throw by the quarterback from Hudson. And a good catch wide open. And he got to gain another 10 yards for Monty Robinson could run him down.
We talked a little bit about pregame here. Hudson will throw the ball. They've got about 1,000 yards of offense on the season, 750 of that coming through the air. They have struggled to run the ball. They are not afraid to let it sling. Roberts, pitch left.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, so going into it, your game plan, I would think, hey, let's make this quarterback uncomfortable. We know you're going to swing it around 30, 40 times a game. Let's put pressure on him and put heat on him.
That is Bell on the sweep to the left. Junior from Hudson. Couple of Sailors in on the tackle. Second down, 5 yards ago in the first drive of the game. 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Roberts in shotgun. Gunnison in the backfield. Trips right. Handoff up the middle. Correction, that is Taylor. Nope. Gunnison up the middle, I believe.
Yeah, that was Gunnison right up the middle. Got close to, well, he got the first down. Thought it was right close, but he must have got just beyond it.
First down and 10 from the Sailor 12. Sailors find themselves backed up against the shadow of their own goalpost here on the first drive after giving up about a 60-yard, 50-yard pass play on a hitch and go. Roberts brings the troops to the line. Shotgun formation. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Handoff up the middle. Not much there. Maybe got 2. We're going to have 2nd and 8 from about the 10.
Yeah, decent little run by Gunnarsson. Got hit and still gained a couple yards. Had a good little spin move to at least get positive yardage for the Pirates.
So 2nd and 8.
Good for a short game. 2nd and 8 for the Pirates.
Want to see the Sailors stiffen up on the D here just a little bit. Try to force a field goal or even get a turnover. Roberts in the shotgun, split backfield. Now he sends the man in motion, twins right, sweep around the end. Sailors string it out towards the sideline. He cuts up the field and maybe got another 3. Good job by the defense stringing that out. We're going to have 3rd and 5.
The defense had that contained, and he either ran by over the enough to get around that containment, because I thought we had him enough to push him back to the inside.
And that's Yoder, the senior wide receiver on that end around. 3rd and 5. Roberts in the shotgun. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Twins right, twins left. And we have a flag on the play. I believe we have movement on Hudson. That is a big false start. That's going to back them up 5. We're going to have 3rd and 10.
Yeah, one of those mental mistakes that you just don't want to have if you're a Hudson Pirate fan. Got a nice drive going. You still got 3rd down here. But, and it may be 4th down territory, too, depending on what their coach is thinking.
I think if you're coming in 1 and 3, you're in district play, I think it's absolutely 4th down. Maybe not if it's 4th and 10 or if we get a tackle for loss at 4th and 15. But if you get any positive yardage, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going for it. Roberts in the shotgun. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Drops back, quick hitch. It's almost picked off. Almost picked off by the Sailors. That was a slant right across the middle. Sean Monahan came through and just about picked that off at the goal line.
Yeah, great break by Monahan. He at least knocked it down, but I think his eyes got real big there thinking, oh, I just about got a pick. Now they are going to kick it here. I mean, it's just too far to go for it and turn it over on down. So, you know, if their kicker can.
I believe the Hudson kicker hit a 40-yarder last week. That's the rumor going around town. This one is a line drive kick, a little squirrely, but he sneaks it through. I will say Columbus with a good stand in their own end after the big play, and Hudson is up early, 3-0 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter.
Field goal attempt is good.
So what do you see on defense there that they've got to clean up, Jeff?
Pirates
Well,
3.
you're going to have to defend that pass because they're putting 4 guys split out, sometimes 3 on one side, 1, maybe, you know, twins on each side. You're going to have to play real good man-to-man defense there. Or if you go zone, that's fine too, but you got to make sure you're looking at that soft part of the zone. But when they ran the ball, I thought Columbus pretty much stuffed them. So except for that one long play, I think it was a pretty good stand, and you held them to 3 instead of 7.
And it's going to come down to that passing game. On the season, Hudson comes in with only 246 rushing yards on the season in a 4-game stretch. I don't know if my math is still holding up. That's just about 60 yards a game in rushing, which isn't real affordable. So you're looking at having to protect that pass all night.
So the question I would have is, do they pass so much because they're losing those games and have to catch up, or is that their natural game plan?
Little bit of both, maybe. A little bit of both. Sailors are set to kick off. Hagedorn and Nolan deep for the Sailors. Looking to get right on offense here. Down 3-0 early. 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Kick is away. That's going to be Hagedorn. Takes it at about the 10. He's up at the 25 to the 30. He's got a crease down the sideline. He's at the 30 and scored it up the sideline. Had daylight and a great return and a nice field position for the Sailors' opening drive.
Couple things on Hagedorn there. When he hit his, turned them Jets from about the 35 of Columbus, he just shot out like a shot. And then he didn't step out of bounds when he was going to get hit. He put his head down and tried to get a couple more yards. Really appreciate that effort.
Very, very quick. We saw him, I believe, against Grundy Center was the one that caught the 95-yard touchdown bomb from Noland when Robinson was out injured. And he put the Jets on that game, too. And he's got some wheels. Robinson is shotgun. Looks like Sitzman in the backfield. Handoff up the middle is Sitzman. Makes a cut. Maybe a yard. Run right there up the middle. Sitzman with a yard. Wondering if Drew Schultz is typically the starting tailback. He's been battling some injury. And Coach Schmidt's done a nice job kind of handling that position by committee. Keep guys fresh.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to play both ways a ton. He may, but yeah, I think Coach is erring on the side of caution still.
Robinson is shotgun. Sitzman in the backfield. Nolan in motion. Handoff. Sitzman trying to get the edge. Gets about 2 or 3 before he's forced out of bounds along the Sailor sideline. We're going to have a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Pushed out of bounds by Cleveland for the Pirates.
Yeah, big play early in the game. Keep this momentum going for Columbus Sailors.
Big 3rd and 8 here. Want to keep the chains moving. Keep the ball in your hands. Keep the Hudson offense off the field. Get some momentum built. Robinson in shotgun. Takes the ball. Swings it out to Nolan in the flat. Makes one man. Oh! Loses his footing down for about a 3-yard gain. We're going to have a 4th and 4 coming up here.
That was real close to being a huge gain. I'm not even sure he got tackled. I think he did, one of those turf tackles. I think he tripped kind of on his own feet with the grass. And that grass is pretty lush down there now.
And even though you don't get a first down, they're going to come out and punt here, 4th and 5. 7.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Even though you don't get the first down, your good return on the kickoff flips the field here, hopefully. Robinson's punt, nice hanging punt. Looks like it's angling down. Oh, takes a what I would call a Hudson hop because it hit about the 4-yard line and squirted right into the end zone. Hudson will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Pirates will have it 1st and 10 at the 20.
That was a nice punt. That was about 40, 45-yard punt.
Strong leg. Robinson's had the kicking duties all year except for the one game he was out. Noland took over the punting duties that game. Hudson coming to the line, 1st and 10, 7.5 left in the first quarter. They have a 3-0 lead. Opening drive had a field goal. Roberts, first time under center. Takes the ball, handoff up the middle. Nothing doing there. A bunch of Sailors. Let's talk a little bit about that Sailor defensive line.
Yeah, they've got some guys on that line that just keep getting better. I mean, you got Trinan, you got Kimonte, of course. You know, and I'm just naming a couple now. We'll name all of them throughout the end of the night.
Got Rudy Lind out there and Lucas Clark.
Those guys are bouncing back and working, you know, doing offensive line work too. So good effort on the defense.
And I do see Drew Schultz out there at outside linebacker, his natural position on defense. Roberts in the shotgun. That's early movement. They didn't call it. Swing out to the flat to Yoder. Loses his footing as well. Gets about 3. And we are going to have a 3rd and 5. Sailors looking to get off the field and force the 3 and out. Saw some early movement in the backfield by Gunnarsson, not called by the officials. He was leaning pretty good heavy. Got the snap off out to Yoder. And we got a 3rd and 4. Beautiful night for football here. Hudson comes to the line. Roberts in the backfield. Gunnarsson in the setback. Drops back. He's looking for a deep out, and he overthrows his man. He had Yoder open on the deep out, and just overthrew him a little bit towards the sideline. Led him a little bit too much.
Yeah, he was going to thread the needle there, but it had to be a little bit sharper pass. He overthrew him by 5 or 10 yards. Bonus for the Sailors, going to get it back probably in pretty good field position here.
Nice thing about that coverage there, Monty Robinson plays quarterback, also plays quite a bit of safety. He's got 2 or 3 picks on the season already. He's played a really good safety position. He's got 2 or 3 pass breakups. Here's the punt. Short punt. Looks like it's going to bounce at 45. Rolls, takes a Hudson roll all the way down to the Sailor 32-yard line. And the Sailors will take over 1st and 10 on their 32, down 3-0 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, not sure if you noticed, Columbus played that play with 10 guys. The 11th guy was about halfway in the field. So somebody was not paying attention. That's his little thing. Hey, are you going to block that thing? Probably not, but maybe that's the guy that came down. You could have blocked, and we could have got a return set up.
As we mentioned earlier, the Sailors plagued with injuries early in the season. They are all but healthy. I think minus Faraday is the last one they hope to get back next week. So they really are much more formidable on that offensive line. No one in motion. Handoff up the middle. There's Drew Schultz on running back. Nice burst of speed. That's a 6-yard gain out to the 40-yard line.
They're going to give him 8 or 9 yards on that mark.
Great forward progress. Did a nice job falling forward. We're going to have a nice 2nd and 2, maybe 3 here. Great run.
Speaking of Thomas Faraday, stick around at halftime while we'll interview Thomas Faraday. He's going to come up, be nice enough to spend a little bit of his halftime with us. And then we'll also have a queen, right?
Sailors moving quick to the line here. A lot of times they'll take their time in the huddle. There's still 15 seconds on the play clock. Robinson's going to keep it up the middle. Good, strong run. We have a flag on the play. I think we have a hold. That's unfortunate. That was a nice design quarterback draw. Big, strong Amani Robinson had about 7. That one's coming back.
Yeah, and talking to Coach earlier in the week, I think he's little by little, I think, as Amani feels a little bit better, his body-wise, you're going to see him run a little bit more.
As you were teasing the halftime festivities, we will be crowning the homecoming queen at halftime. We're going to stick with the broadcast. We'll have Thomas Faraday up in the booth, and Jeff will do a nice quick interview with him, and we'll let all the viewers at home watch the homecoming queen crowning. Robinson in the shotgun, 2nd and 12. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle to Drew, trying to get to the edge, and he's chased down
Drew Schultz
by a
on the
couple
carry.
of Pirates there, and it is going to be 3rd and long. Boy, that penalty is a big
Brought
difference
down
in high
by
school when you go from a
Mosley.
1st and 10 to a 2nd
14
and
on the
12.
play.
Yeah, that kind of puts you behind the
3rd,
sticks a little
12 for
bit.
the Sailors.
Boy, that was a nice play, I think. I'm trying to see who that was for Hudson. Nice tackle on Drew Schultz.
3rd and 12. Robinson in the shotgun. Twins right. That's Nolan and Owen Hosh. Looks like it's Sitzman in the backfield. Robinson drops back. He wants to go deep. He's throwing. It's just out of reach. Owen Hosh had a step on his man. It's a pretty good ball. Just a little overthrown by a step or two, and that could have been a big strike for the Sailors.
Yeah, that was just, he's one stride away from catching that and going to the house. Just a tad overthrown. And looked like Hosh turned on the afterburners, gave it everything he could, just couldn't track down that ball.
So the Sailors are forced to punt on their 2nd drive. 4th and 12 from the 30. Looks like Yoder back deep for Hudson. Angled kick towards, bounces at the 40, takes a nice Sailor hop, rolls down to the 25. Yoder picks it up, tries to scramble, and does get a couple of yards. A little bit of a dangerous play there. He gets a 5 yards on the return, and Hudson's going to take over 1st and 10 on their 29.
Yeah, that's real risky, but it paid off for Yoder and the Hudson Pirates with a decent little 5-yard return.
So the first 2 drives for the Sailors are 2 punts. Hudson had a field goal on their first drive and then a punt back to the Sailors. So after that big pass play, really a defensive situation here with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Hudson coming to the line. Roberts in the shotgun. He's got Gunnarsson in the backfield. He's going to keep it up the middle. There is a flag, quick flag on the play, right from the middle of the field. What do we got here? We might have a hold here.
I mean, that flag came out right after it got hiked. I don't even know how you could hold somebody that quick.
I think the guard tried to down block on someone that had inside leverage on him, and I think he just basically tackled him right after the snap. Because that was a quick flag.
So that's going to push the Pirates back another 10, so it's going to make them 1st and 20. So see if this holding penalty affects them like it affected Columbus drive.
1st and 20. Now from the about 19-yard line. Good opportunity here for the Sailors. Roberts in the backfield. In the shotgun. Gunnarsson in the backfield with him. Ball snap. Roberts is going to keep. Interesting call on 1st and 20. Thought that they maybe catch the Sailors a little in a soft coverage or off guard there, and they stuffed it.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell that. I almost think he kind of had the option if he wanted to maybe, roll out, look at the coverage, roll out, pass, or just go off and run.
Could be a little RPO.
And the run was snuffed out.
Sailors in good position here. Have Hudson backed up on their about 17-yard line. 2nd and 21. Robert comes out in shotgun again.
Good-looking kid for a sophomore, isn't he?
Big.
Yes. Good arm.
Program has him at 6'6", 211.
Oh
Swing pass out to Gunnarsson. Hagedorn sheds the block and makes a great tackle from the corner position.
Good effort there. He saw that Hudson Pirate cut into the inside, threw his defender off that was blocking him, and he got trucked a little bit, but he made the tackle.
It's hard to get off that block and make the tackle. Also, great pursuit from the inside. Hagedorn played the corner position, played exactly like you want to from outside in, and then a couple of Sailor teammates there to help clean up the mess. Nice play to hold him to a short gain, and we're going to have 3rd and 16. Roberts in the shotgun. 3 trips to the close side of the screen. Roberts tries back. He's got pressure. He's going to scramble. He's running down the sideline. Great closeout by Hagedorn again on the solo tackle along the sideline.
That was textbook. He went right at right at Robert's legs. Almost like a double leg tackle. Boom.
Fourth
Throw him out
and
of bounds.
11.
Little wrestling takedown there.
Sailors will get the ball back.
Great textbook tackle. Well done. Looked like he had some room to run there, and they just closed it.
Yeah, even more impressive because we were blitzing on that. So now these DBs are kind of hung out to dry. Do you stay with your guy until he gets across the line of scrimmage? Then you really got to commit to the quarterback.
Nesby with the punt, squibs it out, get away from it there, Sailors. It rolls down to the Sailor 45, a little bit of a line drive, got a good roll. And boy, we are burning through the first quarter here on a bunch of punts. We got a minute 18 left already.
It is flying by this first quarter. Still 3-0 Hudson Pirates over Columbus Sailors, but the Sailors get the ball back in real good field position.
So really after that the first play of the game on a hitch and go where they hit a 50-yard pass play and set themselves up for a field goal, not much offense to speak of, but really the big thing, a couple of penalties have really pushed both offenses in the wrong direction.
Yep. Mistakes are going to get you every time here.
Robinson in the shotgun. Fakes to Sitzman, swings it out to the flat. It's led too far for Nolan. He had some room out there. You know, you're trying to lead your receiver on that swing route so he can have momentum towards the line of scrimmage and just overthrew him by a step.
And that's the other thing. If you have to leave your feet for that, almost doesn't matter if you catch it or not because you're going to be down right where you catch it, and it's going to be second down and 10 either way.
Second and 10 on the incompletion on the swing route to Noland. Minute 14 left in the first quarter. Sailors have the ball, second and 11 on their 45, second and 10 on their 45. Down 3-0, field goal, the only score of the game from the Pirates. Robinson the shotgun. Hands off to Sitzman. He's got a little bit of a room there. Nice burst of speed. Found a little bit of a seam there to take him 5-yard gain out to the 50. We're going to have 3rd and 5.
Shoelace tackle just tripped him up right at the end there. That was looking as a real good gain, but it gives you, a doable 3rd down here.
In 1A football, too, I love the running back by committee when you have guys that can play that and have a little bit of depth, which isn't something the Sailors have always had. Keeps your legs fresh. We'll see how that plays out in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Robinson under center for the first time tonight. Drops back, fakes the handoff. He's got to roll to his right. He's looking for a man, looking. Oh, a dangerous pass. And the Yoder steps in front of it. I'm not sure Robinson ever saw him. That was intended for Owen Hosh, and Yoder just stepped right in front of it for the interception.
That's, boy, that's a tough break for Robinson. But what a great interception. Diving, laid out, Yoder did, and he picked it off, and now they just turned the field on us.
I'm not so sure he wouldn't have had a better chance on the first down if he just tucked that and run. He's a big, strong, fast kid. We talked about it. It's going to come down to turnovers. You need to take care of the football in high school. Hudson takes over on the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Roberts in the shotgun. And we have a flag on the play, early movement. And another offensive mistake, and teams are struggling to keep that flag from hurting them on offense.
Yeah, I think both defenses are playing fairly well, but boy, the offenses are both sputtering a little bit. And right now it's penalties and, of course, that turnover for Columbus.
First and 15 now from the Hudson from their own 44-yard line. Sailors in the standard 3-4 set. They've run that most of the year. They've got some big boys up front. Hand off to Gunnarsson. Rudy Lynn sheds the block and makes the tackle from the DN position.
I'll tell you what, that Rudy Lynn gets better every week I see him. He gets better every stinking week, just inch by inch.
Big, strong kid. Love that he's only a junior. He had to start as a sophomore because of some depth problems at Columbus last year. We just didn't have many juniors and seniors. So starting as a sophomore, I know he took some licks. I mean, they had a grind of a year, only got 1 win. But I'll tell you what, if you can stick that kind of stick that out, you learn a lot about yourself, and you just get tougher and tougher every game.
Nothing like game experience, 100%.
That is the end of the first quarter. Hudson leads the Sailors on homecoming Friday, 3-0. There's a breakdown on the field, and we're going to take one up here, and we'll be right back.
Couple quick score updates from around the district. AP Falcons are up 20-0 against Summer Fredericksburg. That's at the end of the first quarter. And Union leads Jessup 13-0 at the end of the first quarter.
We are back. Start of the second quarter. Hudson, after the Yoder interception on the Robinson pass, has the ball second and about 13 on their own 46-yard line. Roberts in the shotgun. Rolls to his right. Little bit of pressure. He's looking for a man down the field, and Robertson is there. That's Sean Monahan. Beautiful play from the free safety position. Steps into the ball, and the Sailors take the ball right back.
Yeah, their receiver was cutting across the field, and you talk about not seeing Monahan. There's no way that their quarterback saw Monahan. He didn't hardly move 2 steps, almost like you were throwing it right to him. Caught it. Only downside is he had a lot of field ahead of him, and the Pirates did a good job of putting him to the turf.
So the Sailors take the ball back after the interception. We've traded interceptions. Start of the second quarter. Sailors looking to get something going on offense here, down 3-0, and looking to start marching towards the Pirate end zone. Robinson in the shotgun. Owen Hosh in motion. Handoff up the middle. Nice little run there. Makes a man miss. And that's going to go for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. That's Isaac Sitzman again with the carry on first down. Brings up 2nd and 5.
I think just starting the second quarter, imperative for the Sailors to string together a long drive here and start to show a little dominance with this offensive line.
That's Trinan, Clark, Lind, Stroh up at the offensive line. Road Graydon for the 5 yards there. Early whistle there as the ball was hiked. And I believe that's typically going to be a false start. And it is. 5 yards on the Sailors. So that backs them up and kind of negates that nice first down run. And again, flags and turnovers are the story of the game here so far.
Yeah, need to play a clean game. Give yourself a chance here. Puts it right back to 2nd and 10 now.
And pre-snap penalties, that'll frustrate the heck out of any coach. Robinson in the shotgun. Sitzman in the backfield. Quick throw out to the flat. He's got Hosh on the curl. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and he stumbles forward for a 15-yard gain, and that's good enough for a Sailor first down.
Yeah, just a nice little curl route. Amani put it right on Hosh's hands, and then Hosh did the rest with that extra 5 or 6 yards. Drove through 2 or 3 different defenders.
Made 2 guys miss, broke another tackle, and stumbled through 2 or 3 Hudson defenders. That's a nice play by the Sailors. 15-yard play. That's probably their longest gain of the night.
I think it is. You bet.
Robinson is shotgun. Hands it up the middle. Looking for some room.
That
looks
yard
like
or two.
Drew Schultz got just a yard. Had a little bit of daylight there, and the Pirates did a good job of closing that hole in a hurry. So that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Sailors on their own 42-yard line, looking to sustain a drive here for the first time tonight.
I think Sitzman or Schultz, one of those guys are going to break one here. Before this game's out, they just need that sliver just to get them through that front line.
And the offensive line has done the last 2 games done a really good job wearing guys down as the game goes on. Robinson in the shotgun, dropping back, reading, set up the screen nicely. It's just off Schultz's fingertips. Couldn't quite have it. I thought he dunked it right over the D-line there, and we were going to have that was going to go for a big gain. The Sailors can't hold on.
Good call by Coach Schmidt. Just was not executed to the extent that you need it. Yeah, that's going to go for a first down, no doubt about it.
Well, and that's the story of the game so far is execution. I mean, a few penalties, a couple pre-snap, a big holding call, a couple of not drop passes, but a couple passes just off fingertips and such. And then obviously the turnover. So Sailors looking to sustain their drive here. 3rd and 8. Robinson drops back. He's going to throw deep again. He's got Noland. And again, just a little overthrown. Too much on it. Overthrown by about 2 or 3 yards. And that's going to bring up 4th and 8. And the Sailors failed to connect on the long ball from Robinson.
Yeah, just another, what if there was just a smidgen more air under that ball, or, you had one more step, 2 steps.
So the Sailors punt 3 times on their 4th drive. 1 interception, 3 punts. Robinson, nice big booming kick down to the 20, fielded by Yoder. Finds a little bit of a seam there, but he's hemmed in by about 4 or 5 Sailors there down at the 26-yard line, where Hudson will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, so Pirates starting here on the 26-yard line. We'll give them the 27. And a good 3 and out and getting the ball back would help the Sailors. But, defense been on, I guess both defenses have been on the field a long time. It seems like those offensive plays go lickety-split, and then defense is on there for a while.
Yeah, really, the only drive of anything to speak of was Hudson's first drive, and then it's just been trading interceptions and punts tonight. See if the Sailors can get this ball back. Roberts in the shotgun, fakes it. He's going to keep it. Couple of yards there. He does a good job stumbling forward. I like how the defense is trying to rip the ball out there and create a turnover. He gets about 3.
Yeah, that was Kemonte Humphrey there, where you could see him trying to rip the ball out after that forward progress was stopped, and he's trying to get a turnover. Good ball.
Humphreys on the D line, number 56. Rudy Lynn, the other D end. And then I believe we have Clark in the middle at the nose tackle position. Just a sophomore there in the nose tackle, Lucas Clark.
Yeah, Coach Schmidt really high on him, really, even though he's young, says he's a real good lineman both ways.
Sailors in there 3-4, and it looks like time winding down, and Hudson pretty intelligently there. He's going to take a timeout rather than take the penalty here. We've got a timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout in the booth. We'll be right back.
Also, while you're at the concession stand, be sure to stop by the self-store. Got a stock with David Taylor apparel for all ages. Open night during the game, located in the concession stand.
Welcome back to Waterloo, Iowa, TJ McLaughlin Field here at Columbus Catholic High School on a beautiful homecoming Friday night. Hudson has an early 3-0 lead with 8.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Been a story of punts and turnovers thus far. Sailors looking to get off the field here again and get the ball back for their offense. Roberts in the shotgun. 2nd and 8. Pitch out to the left. That's Bell. He's got a little bit of room there. There's a late flag. Wait, is that a late flag?
Well, I couldn't see. Something was flying
Maybe
over there on the
a water
sideline.
bottle on the sideline. I don't think that's a flag.
I don't believe so.
So about a 6-yard gain. Sailors stop him short of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and 1 And a big play here at the 36-yard line if the Sailors can stop them here on a 3rd and short. Great crowd in this home stands here for the Sailors. I mean, they really showed up. You got people all around the fence line. Here it comes.
And it should be. It's a beautiful night. It's homecoming.
Under center, 3rd and 1. Handoff right up the middle. And Humphreys with an absolute stick hit in the backfield. 2-yard loss. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's going to – he dropped him for 2 or 3 yard loss. Humphrey looked like he got shot out of a cannon there. Obviously, nobody blocked him. There is no way Hudson can go for this, and they're that deep in their territory. Just
He
no way.
absolutely manhandled the offensive tackle and just destroyed the Hudson running back for a 3-yard loss, 4th and 4. And we've got a punt here from Nestby. Line drive. Monahan fields it at about the 40s. Immediately met. The ball's on the ground. And it looks like the Sailors are going to recover.
I wasn't sure he was down before that.
I kind of thought so, but they're going to say that's a live ball, and thankfully the Sailors fall on that at the 35-yard line.
Could have been a catastrophe right there, but the Sailors do recover.
Boy, that is a big defensive and the first tackle for loss of the night. And Humphreys, like you said, he was shot out of a cannon there. My goodness.
Yeah, and what he lacks in height, he gains in width. I mean, that dude is thick. So if he gets his arms on you, you are going to the turf, no doubt
You're
about
not
it.
going anywhere. So Sailors see if they can build on the momentum of the big defensive stop there. Monty Robinson in the shotgun, hands it off to Sitzman around the right edge, trying to find some room. Nothing there, and we also have another flag on the play.
Right at the end of the play, you're hoping maybe for a face mask, but it's probably going to be a holding.
We have another holding call on the Sailors. We're going to be backed up to 1st and 20, and I tell you what, Coach Schmidt has got to be getting very frustrated with these holding penalties.
Yeah, I mean, it's what could have been. It's hard to say what would have happened because you keep shooting yourself in the foot, and you've got 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20. Hard to sustain a drive when you have to make that kind of chunk yardage, every other down.
Well, and you also want to be careful you don't turn it over down here. In a
100%.
tight game, 3-0, so you have to balance the play calling here between getting a big play for a first down to keep a drive going and then also taking care of the football.
Correct, you bet.
Robinson in the shotgun. Looks like Sitzman in the backfield. Twins left. Robinson's going to drop back. He's going to roll out, trying to get away from pressure. He's chased towards the sideline. He's going to keep it. He scrambles and looks like he got maybe only about 3 or 4. I thought he got a little bit more than that, but he's forced out of bounds at the 30. And it looks like we're going to be 2nd and 17 at the 27-yard line. Good decision to take care of the football. If it's not there, you don't want to turn it over. Like we said, he's a big, strong kid. He's got quite a few rushing yards this year. Sailors come out. Robinson in the shotgun. Sitzman in the backfield. 4 receiver set. Drop back. Robinson throws the curl route a little off target. Nolan tries to make a diving catch towards the sideline off his fingertips. And Sailors struggling to move the football here.
Yeah, that pass was just a little bit off again. But I think if you talk to Bryce Nolan, hit him in the hands, I think he expects to make that even though he had to lay out for it.
And Robinson looked like he put a little extra on that one. Obviously, you've got to get it out there quick. You don't want to float one out there and get it picked off. So I like the velocity there. Just a little bit off towards the sideline and not able to be brought in by Nolan. Twins right. Robinson in the backfield. Sitzman offset back. Drops back. He's going to go on the deep out there to Owen Hosh. It looked, they're going to call it skipped off the turf. Looked like he tried to come back towards the ball and make the catch, but the low throw, the call on the field is skip off the turf, and so that's going to be incomplete and bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I thought Hosh did a nice job of trying to sell that, but I thought he trapped it also. But,
Probably a good call on the field. So the Sailors are forced to punt for the 4th time in 5 drives. Robinson back to punt on his 15-yard line. Good snap. Gets a nice little spiral kick down. Caught at the 36. Breaks one tackle. Breaks two tackles. Off to the sideline. Yoder forced out of bounds at about the Hudson 48-yard line, where the Hudson Pirates will take over first and 10.
Yeah, just kind of a ho-hum game right now. It's 3-0. Offense is both sputtering and mostly self-inflicted with penalties and turnovers.
Some really good defense on both sides here to start the ball game. We've got 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Roberts in the shotgun. Trips at the top of the screen. We have another pre-snap penalty here, and we have a false start. This is starting to get ugly, Jeff.
Yeah. I would think both coaches are pulling their hair out, whatever hair they have left. Holy cow.
I think they might be starting to scribble down some notes for the halftime speech. We'll see how guys regroup in the locker room here, and maybe we get a little sharper play here in the second half.
You know, this isn't week 1, it's week 5, and not to make any excuses, you shouldn't be jumping. I know holds happen. Holds happen, at least if you're being aggressive.
Sure.
I can give you a little bit of that, but pre-snap things, almost unacceptable.
Roberts in the shotgun, 1st and 15. 6 minutes left in the first half. Drops back. He doesn't like what he sees. Tries to scramble. He's got just a little room. Forced out of bounds there for about a 4-yard scramble. Pretty good decision there because the direction he was looking, Hagedorn and Spencer Schaefer had their guys absolutely locked down on coverage.
Yeah, they were looking right at number 19, the Hudson quarterback, and begging him to throw it to that left side of the football field.
A very good decision to tuck that ball and get 3 or 4 yards on the scramble, because that would have been a dangerous throw to the left side where he was looking. 2nd and 12 on their own 46. Roberts in the shotgun again. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Yoder split to the right. He drops back. He wants the swing pass. Doesn't go there. He scrambles again. Now he lets it loose. It's tipped and falls harmlessly to the turf, and that was a dangerous throw.
Yeah, off the Hudson Pirate receiver, then off the fingers of Columbus Sailors. So touched plenty of guys, but nobody could haul it down.
Interesting play call there. It looked like that the running back, Gunnarsson, out into the flat was almost a decoy, because he looked that way, then tucked it, and then immediately popped back up and tried to throw that slant route where a corner would potentially vacate the spot coming up to get the guy in the flat. But our corner, Hagedorn, stayed home there and was there to make the coverage. Roberts in the shotgun, 3rd and 12 here. Time winding down in the second quarter. He's got some pressure. He gets rid of it. It's complete. And he's struggling for the first time. He's going to be short, probably a 6, 7, 8-yard gain. And I think we're going to have about a 4th and 5 here.
It's going to get real interesting to see what the coaches from Hudson do on this.
You're right at midfield. You're 1 and 3. Your defense has played well. That's the one thing I'll say, is that, maybe you don't mind kicking it back to them.
I mean, right now you've got the lead for sure. And
it looks like they're going to.
And you don't want to give Columbus any momentum if they can shut you down and get it back on midfield.
Nestby back to punt. Monahan back to return for the Sailors. Good kick away. About a line drive down there. It's going to settle down untouched at about the 20-yard line of the Sailors. Well, they'll take over 1st and 10. We've got 4:57 left in the second quarter. And the Hudson Pirates still clinging to a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and like you said, 4:57. So you got almost 5 full minutes here if you can sustain a drive, finish on a high note going into the locker room here.
Still have all three timeouts, the Sailors do, so plenty of time here, not a factor. 5 minutes left. Amani Robinson jogging out to bring the play call to the huddle. 15 seconds on the play clock. Robinson in the shotgun. 2 receivers towards the close side of the screen. Robinson under center now. Hands off up the middle. That's Schultz. Good run. Bounces around, pinballs his way for about a 6-yard gain, and we're going to have 2nd and 4. Great gain on 1st down. And in a minor miracle here, no flags.
Yeah. And Schultz, that's a real good run. That's 6 or 7 yard run, and he got hit hard twice there. Spun him around and then got put down, and he popped right back up. Good run.
Pinball's down and now it's actually a 7-yard gain. So we got 2nd and 3 here. One of the best second down positions that the Sailors had, and going to try to string together a couple of first downs here.
Yeah, like we have a timeout because I think
they came out of the huddle confused, and Coach Schmidt saw it right away and didn't like what he's seeing. He called a very quick timeout there.
a couple guys were either not sure of the play or the formation. So good timeout by Coach Schmidt.
The Sailors are coached by Brad Schmidt. He's been at Columbus 12 years already.
Yeah.
For those that have been around a while, remember that he was the quarterback at the last state title that the Sailor football team ran.
1985, if I got my years right. Yeah.
I think you're putting a few
Yeah.
years on him. I think it was like 04, but
No, it was. I'm not sure what 1985 was, some other state championship, but it was 05, wasn't it? The fall of 04.
I think it was 04. Assistant coaches at Columbus are Terrell Foster, Mitch Ram, Nick Bellamy, Drew Robinson, and a great pickup from UNI, Jed Smith. His boy is a freshman here.
Jed Smith's the best.
Caden Ludwig, who Coach Schmidt reminded me is a 2-time All-State safety alumni from the Columbus Sailors, and Don Patnode, also a wonderful, great athletic career here at Columbus.
Yeah, Patnode was hard-nosed. He's good for these linemen. Shows these guys what it takes. That's a good coaching staff Coach Schmidt's put together.
It certainly is. All right, back in the action here after the timeout. 2nd and 4, Robinson in the shotgun. Sailors looking to do a little cooking. End around. Drew Schultz has nowhere to go. Yoder off the edge. And that 7-yard gain on first down is completely erased for a 7-yard tackle for loss. We're going to have 3rd and 10.
Boy, I like the idea. Just have to execute. You have to lock down that side so your running back can get around the corner.
And that end around play has been around in the playbook for about 20 years at Columbus, and usually works. It usually is blocked well. It usually goes for good gains. That time they sniffed it out, and Yoder makes the tackle for loss. 3rd and 10. Robinson in the shotgun, drops back. He's looking for the corner route and throwing up the sideline. When Hosh can't hang on, that one falls incomplete. And we're going to have another punt here, 4th and 10 on the Sailor 20.
Yeah, both offenses are struggling. Let's best thing Columbus can hope for now with 3.5 minutes left in the half is a good punt here and then and a good 3 and out.
Yeah, you don't want to give him good field position. Need a good boot here by Robinson, who's back to punt. Hudson looks like they're going to come after this one. Boy, they came close, but they get it away.
Punt.
Yoder back there at the 40. He lets it go. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. He was all by himself at the 40-yard line, and instead of making the catch, he must have lost in the lights or didn't like what he see. And I'll tell you what, the only bigger mistake he could have made is trying to catch it if you don't have a handle on it and turning it over. So maybe not the worst thing to let that go, but it does net the Sailors another 12 yards on the roll.
Just a little surprising. I mean, it looked like he was camped under it. And if he catches that, there's nobody within 10 or 15 yards of him.
He must have lost sight of it or something, took his eye off it. And if that's the case, then it's actually a smart play to get the heck out of the way and not turn the ball over and let it bounce off yourself. So the Sailors catch a break on another 10 or 15-yard roll on the punt. 1st and 10 on Hudson 23-yard line. Roberts under center. Hands off up the middle. Another contact in the backfield. He did stumble forward for about 2 yards, but a great job by Drew Schultz getting in the backfield.
Yeah, he came firing off that outside corner and just got enough of the running back's ankles to trip him up for just a 2-yard gain.
And that 3-4 defense is very dangerous because you can do a lot of things with your 2 outside linebackers and your 2 inside linebackers. Sometimes for high school kids, it's hard to pick up that blitz when you're not sure which way it's coming from every play.
Yeah, you're asking some offensive linemen to do some hard things because you've got 3 down guys with their hand in the dirt, and then who do I go to? The next guy. And obviously you should go to the inside guy, but easier said than done when you're up here, 50 feet away.
Absolutely. And we have a timeout by Hudson with 2:33 left in the second quarter. Pirates lead the Sailors 3-0, and we'll be right back.
And just quick reminder, please do not go beyond the color flagging around the stadium, including the softball, baseball field. Also, we kindly ask that children do not stand or jump or play under large bench stones near the entrance for everyone's safety. Thank you.
Welcome back to Waterloo, Iowa, T.J. McLaughlin Field here at Columbus Catholic High School. Hudson facing a 2nd and 8 on their own 25-yard line. 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. They tried to draw them off with the hard count there. Not successful. Sailors holding their ground. Shotgun snap. Thrown might have been tipped at the line, but either way, a little bit of a broken play. I think the receiver fell down. I think the ball is tipped at the line, and really good defensive play there for the Sailors. Brings up 3rd and 8.
You know, and that's a little bonus too for the Sailors that you know the clock stops. So now if you can stop them here on 3rd and 8, force them to punt. Maybe you use a timeout and see your field position and try to squeak one in right here at the end of the half.
Great point. 2.5 left. Sailors still with 2 timeouts. If they can get a stop here, they'll have plenty of time in getting the ball back. 3rd and 8. Hudson in shotgun. Drops back. He's got 3 receivers out to left. He's almost hit. That looks
hit the
like it
ground.
hit the turf.
100% that hit the ground.
They are going to call it
Oh.
complete. I'm wondering,
Wow.
boy, oh boy, that sure looked like it skipped. And they're coming to the line quick. Sailors in a little bit of a scramble. It's 4th and 2. And that is a great timeout by Brad Schmidt, the Columbus coach. He recognized that Hudson was rushing to the line. And I'm not sure they're going to hike it, but try to draw something off. Maybe they try to go for a quick quarterback sneak. But either way, the Sailors recognized they weren't set up and called the timeout on 4th and 3.
Yeah, I mean, you could see a couple Columbus guys running off because the punt receiver was going on. And then all of a sudden they get back there. Well, we weren't even set yet. So if they would have hiked that thing, they were going to get a first down, I think.
And that's
Mark.
why you always want a timeout or 2 in your pocket towards the end of a half, because things like that can happen. So a little bit of gamesmanship happening out there with Hudson rushing to the line at 4th and 2. Long 2, short 3. And both teams are going to talk about it here, and we'll see what Hudson decides to do, if they're going to punt or if they're going to go for it deep in their own end. I'm guessing you got to punt here.
Oh, I mean, on your 31-yard line, I don't know what you could be thinking going for it. Now, if your offense was rolling a little bit, maybe that's a huge maybe. But
Nesby back to punt. Monahan back to return for the Sailors. They're swapping out a couple of guys now.
See, I think they had their defense in again.
I
They had to
agree.
get their punt receive.
Motion. Hudson with the snap. Nesby gets it away. A little
look
bit of
out,
a
look
shorter
out, look
kick
out,
towards
look
the
out.
sideline.
49
Bounces and goes out of the Sailor 49-yard line, where the Sailors take over. 2 minutes left in the half. Down 3-0. See if the Sailors can get something going here.
Going back to that second down or third down completion that came up a little short, I think it bounced. You think it bounced. I'm looking over at our producer that's actually Brandon, and it bounced.
He's probably got the best eyesight of any of us old dudes up here.
He's also got that television screen in front of him. That's what I'm talking about. That was for sure a one hop. You know,
It sure looked like a short hop.
would have loved that play.
Yeah. 1st and 10 Sailors on the 49-yard line. Robinson in the shotgun. Sitzman in the offset back position. Robinson drops back. Little dump pass to Noland.
Yeah.
Can't keep his feet. The ball came out pretty low. And I'd like to see that ball maybe more on the numbers, give Nolan a chance to turn upfield, and that's going to go for no gain, 2nd and 10.
Such a short pass. He almost knuckleballed it. And just your hamstring and your receivers, they're doing way too much work just to, he caught the ball, but he had to drop down to a knee to get it. So same as either, you caught it, for no yardage or incomplete for no yardage.
And in high school, as soon as your knee goes down, and in college for that matter, you cannot get up and run like you can in the NFL. You don't have to be down by contact. The knee is good enough to call it down. Robinson drops back. He's got a little bit of room to run along the sideline, forced out at about the 45-yard line. We're going to have 3rd and 4.
Good play by Amani. Minute 14, gets out of bounds, stops the clock, and gets positive yardage here. And I think they're in, if you get anything positive here, you're going for it on 4th down.
I think with a minute 14 left, Hudson only has 1 timeout. I think absolutely if you get any kind of positive yardage here, you're going to be going for it. I think this is definitely 4-down territory. You got to get some momentum built up going into halftime. If nothing else, maybe you get a field goal to tie it, but lots of time left. Sailors coming to the line, 3rd and 3. Robinson shotgun again. Has the ball, drop step, throws that curl right into Nolan makes a great catch. The Hudson corner read that the whole way and tried to cut in front of it. And Nolan makes a great catch with a man cutting in front of him.
That Hudson DB might have got a finger on that. And, sometimes we've said, Amani, hey, a little harder here, a little softer here. That's exactly the perfect pace he had to have there to complete that pass.
He threw a fastball, and it's good he did, or that's going 6 the other way. 1st and 10, a big 1st down completion. Minute 9 left in the half. The clock stopped on the play out of bounds. Schaefer coming up, setting the wing back. Robinson under center.
Oh, yeah, we're in trouble. Something's not right.
So we have to burn our last timeout. 1st and 10. Coach Schmidt didn't like what he saw. It looked like we were late getting up to the line there, and the play clock was running down to 2, and Coach wisely takes the timeout. But now you're stuck with no timeouts and a minute 9 left in the half.
Yeah, and I think Amani Robinson, the quarterback, looked over and just said, somebody's not in the right spot here. There's no reason to run this. Somewhat of a critical play. I mean, it's you got your best drive of the night going with a minute left. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot again. The legendary Dan Knipp's in the building.
Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir. And his son will be at some point.
Oh, Mason. Absolutely. Mason is one of a couple of Columbus alumni playing football at Indiana State.
Yep.
Him and Dallas Westhoff, the prolific middle linebacker for the Columbus Sailors from a few years back. Mason Knipp was at Iowa for a season and then switched to Indiana State in the transfer portal, and I think he really likes it there and really enjoys getting back on the defensive side of the football.
Boy, it was so much fun watching him not only play football because he was two-time first-team All-State football, but two-time wrestling champ too.
Robinson swings it out to a nice catch by Schultz along the sidelines. He breaks the tackle. He's got the ball down to the 20-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a 1st down and a 15-yard gain. Did a nice job. We got to hustle up. We got 53 seconds left. Clock is running. Robinson has them set. They're in the no huddle. Clock should have stopped on the 1st down, to be honest with you. Robinson throws that curl route, and that's caught by Nolan, and he gets out of bounds. And the Sailors, with a little bit of momentum on the quick no huddle, they've got it down to the 12-yard line, 2nd and 3, with 47 seconds left in the half.
Marcus, the play before we catch the ball, we got a chance to go out of bounds. He turns it back up. Clock runs, but man, I love that because he's trying. He thinks he's going to score there.
Trying to make a play. And still plenty of time, 47 seconds. Sailors with no timeouts. Ball on the 14-yard line, 2nd and 3. Robinson in the shotgun. Drew Schultz in the backfield. Drops back. He's going to the end zone. Caught. Is caught. Bryce Nolan with the touchdown.
Real nice play. Amani, for about the 2nd or 3rd throw in a row now, has put it right on a guy's hands. He looks like he's starting to loosen up a little bit. I think we're going to have a big second half out of him.
Struggled early with a little bit of accuracy, a couple of overthrown balls, and on that drive, he was dialed in and threw a couple of bullets to the Sailors receivers.
Give Nolan a ton of credit. That's not an easy pass to catch. That thing had some fire on it.
All hands. Nolan, snap, kick, up and good, and the Sailors take a 7-3 lead on homecoming Friday night at TJ McLaughlin Field in Waterloo.
Strobe lights going. People are happy. Student section, we got them excited now. Got the fans excited. Good sustained drive, no penalties.
Great crowd reaction, and that's what you have to do as a football team. You've got to bring that 12th man into the game. You have to sustain drives. Even better that they're able to cap it off on a touchdown throw from Robinson to Nolan.
Now, having said that, you got to give the fans something to cheer about. Penalties and interceptions and fumbles, that was something to cheer about. Build on that in the second half.
So the Sailors, on their 7th drive of the evening, finally find pay dirt to take a 7-3 lead with 43 seconds left in the first half. And we're going to kick off to Hudson here. It'll be interesting to see what they do with 1 timeout and 43 seconds left. Nolan, after scoring the touchdown and kicking the extra point, is going to kick off. Kick is away. End over end kick down to the 10. Brings it up. He's loose. Nolan makes a touchdown saving tackle on the 43-yard line. And boy, did the Sailors dodge disaster on that one.
Yeah, Columbus just punched Hudson in the mouth, and guess what? Hudson got up and punched right back there at right at midfield. Now there's only 37 seconds left. That makes that play huge in this game, making that tackle.
A touchdown saving test. So Nolan catches a couple balls on that drive, catches the tight end, kicks the extra point, kicks off to Hudson, and then makes a touchdown saving tackle. Kid's been everywhere so far. Roberts in the shotgun, 37 seconds left. They're going to hand it off the middle, and they're met by a shipload of Sailors, and they swallow him up for a 2-yard loss. 28 seconds left, and Hudson must have called a timeout.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I wouldn't just let the play clock or the game clock run all the way down. It makes you wonder if they're not going to take a couple shots downfield here.
I mean, there's no reason to take that timeout if you're going to run the ball. So I would think he's going to try to air it out here and try to get something like they had in that first drive.
Yeah, very interesting strategy to call the timeout after running up the middle for a 2-yard loss. Because if you were going to come out and fire the ball, why not come out and throw the ball?
Yeah. I mean, you got to make some ground up. Even with that good kicker they have, you're still going to need 30 or 40 yards.
28 seconds left in the first half. Sailors lead 7-3. 2nd and 12 from the 45-yard line. Roberts in the shotgun. 4 receivers. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Sailors in a deep prevent defense. Roberts rolling to his right, throws along the sideline to Bell. Caught. Nice tackle by Owen Hosh to stop him at the 50. They're coming out, no huddle, 16 seconds, 15 seconds. Looks like they're going to clock it with just under 12 seconds left. Again, a little strange, though, because that was 3rd down. Now it brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure what the plan is there.
And again, you're only throwing like a 3-yard out there and then rushing to the line to clock it on 3rd down. So really, you'd got to think that this is probably the last play of the half.
But you don't spike it to go to 4th down and punt it.
I don't understand that. Like, why would you risk the punt and, having potential disaster?
I get running back to the ball and then running a play, but when you spike it, now you go 4th down and
Nesby back to punt, handles the snap, and
boy, we should have covered it. Kind of wish you'd have picked that up.
Also very dangerous.
Yes, I agree.
And they just keep letting the clock run. That was an interesting where the referees, I think, wanted it to go to halftime. But that's interesting because that's a live ball the whole time for the Sailors. And Hudson just kind of stood there and watched. It was a line drive kick, and 2 of our guys had to dive out of the way.
Referees are talking this over. There still might be a second left here. And we're going to find out here shortly. Nope.
They're going to run it down. I think what they're saying is that they never blew the play dead. Hudson never touched the down punt to stop the clock in the play.
And
so they're just letting it run to halftime here. We're going to take a quick break and get set up here. Jeff Bradley's going to have Thomas Faraday in the booth for a nice interview, and we will also have the homecoming festivities. Brandon, do you want to leave the camera? We're going to leave the camera on for the homecoming performance here.
Good job, ladies. Thank you for understanding. Now, please welcome to the field under the direction of Cody McCracken, the Columbus Catholic High School marching band. This year's halftime show includes hits from the 60s. Their first song tonight is the 1964 hit by the Beach Boys, I Get Around.
All right, Jeff Bradley back here at halftime. Everybody can watch the band here, and then the presentation of the Queen will be shortly. But we are honored to have Junior Thomas Faraday up here in the booth for a halftime visit. And appreciate you spending the time up here with us. I know it's been a little tough go with being hurt. What's the prognosis? I mean, you don't have to get into the injury specifically, but you gonna make your way back on the team this year?
Yeah, I think that I got it week 0. Man, it was a tough injury, but I've been working my hardest to try to get it better, getting back. I mean, I've been told a couple of times next week, but it's getting delayed. But I mean, all you got to do is wait. I mean, hopefully next week I'm starting to get some more reps in there and just build the reps up. Hopefully.
Are you doing some other things, aerobically to keep your shape going?
Oh, I'm doing Jet Smith. Mr. Jet Smith got me doing some jump rope and all that stuff to make sure I'm doing condition. Yeah.
Jed's gonna keep you in shape, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
Yep.
Hey, I know you went to a ton of these summer camps through the summer, or last summer, I should say, lineman camps. Pick out. I know you went to 10 or 11 of those things. Pick out a couple of them that kind of highlighted in your head and what you worked on and what you think your assets are, and also what you need to work on.
Yeah, definitely. I think out of the couple I went to, the Kansas State one was really good. I mean, I learned a lot. Had a lot of great coaches. Time with the offensive O-line, the team. I mean, they taught me a lot. I feel like I had a great learning abilities. Got some work on my pass set. I feel like got a lot better there. I also feel like some of the camps are the Iowa. They have an own Iowa O-line camp I went to. It was great. Taught me a lot. I mean, get competition with some other guys around the area. You know, some of the guys around the area. I felt like that was good just for competition more, I feel like.
And then, you know, your junior year, that's a big year for, you know, going on recruiting visits after the season. Have you got a couple of them pigeonholed yet, or are you still up in the air?
You know, I mean, I don't have too many scheduled yet. I'm thinking to go get a couple like Upper Iowa, Warburg, maybe go to a couple at UNI, somewhere right in there.
Yeah.
I just got to get some time out in this field to get some film up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Hey, talk a little bit about your teammates and coaches. In a sense, like it's a tight knit bunch of kids. You know, I know that, and the coaches, a lot of love within the system. But talk about the support system they've given you when you've been injured, and even when you played last year as a sophomore.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last year I think most people know we were a younger, smaller team. I think no one had any expectation for us to be any good. I mean, it was tough. I think altogether, throughout the year, we just stayed together, played next week, next down, next play. I mean, I think that carried on to next year. And, I mean, this team is so together that, I mean, after I got my injury, every week they've been asking me, like, how'd it go? Say you're good. When you're coming back. I mean, they've been with me. And I'm going to be with them, too, trying to help them, teach them how to do stuff. I mean, I feel like we're all like a close family almost.
Right. Speaking of family, the biggest support system you have, your folks, Chris and Megan. Talk about them a little bit.
They've been with me for all my life, obviously.
There you go, yeah.
I mean, throughout the whole time, they've been telling me, I mean, stay with the team, stay consistent, make sure you're out there with the team. But they've also just been supporting me, telling me I'm going to get back out there. Been with me through everything, done all the doctor's visits, done all the MRIs, all that stuff. I mean, I'm very thankful to have them in my life.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to let you off the hot seat. One more question. We got all the Queen hopefuls walking across the field right now.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the hot seat. One more question.
Okay.
Who's going to win tonight?
I think I got to go with my cousin, Lily Faraday, just for
there you go.
Got my jersey on tonight.
Gotta go, Lily.
Yep.
Good for her.
I think she's got it.
All right, my good friend. Good job tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Work on creating their class videos. Along with Spirit Day today, these videos are shown at the annual pep rally. With 4 highly qualified judges in attendance. There were 4 quality videos produced and after much soul searching, the judges decided that the runner-up was the sophomore class video. The best video being produced by the senior class. Let's go seniors! And now, during halftime, it's time to announce our 2025 homecoming court. The first member of our court is Emily Fagan, daughter of Linda and Greg Fagan. Emily has been active in soccer, volleyball, student government, NHS, one of the student in council, and CYC student leadership team. Student ambassadors, speech, musical, and ball play, Pirates, and Lotus. Emily Fagan. Our next candidate is Lily Faraday. Lily is the daughter of Becky Stewart and John Faraday. Lily has been involved in volleyball, basketball, bowling, swimming, student government, lighthouse team, speech, pre-musical, I wrote and CYC, 7 Sisters of Hudson and student ambassador. Lily Faraday. We have Cassandra High, daughter of Matthew and Katie. While at Columbus, Cassie has been a member of student government, NHS, Pirates, ball play, speech and individual groups, musical, dance, NCYC, student leadership team, Freedom, and the 7 Sisters of Hudson. Cassandra High. Now we have Caitlin Walker. Caitlin is the daughter of Nick and Lauren. At Columbus, Caitlin has been involved in volleyball, tennis, student government, NCYC and Pirates, Sisters of Austria, NHS, and student blood drive. Caitlin Locker. Our next candidate is Stella Ludwig. Stella is the daughter of Al and Tracy Ludwig. Stella has been active in church, cross country, tennis, musical and ball play, MHS, Pirates, and NCYC, River Freedom, and Seven Sisters Apostles, and works as the wrestling team manager. Stella Ludwig. Next we have Natalie Merrifield. Natalie is the daughter of Catherine and Carrie Merrifield. At Columbus, Natalie has participated in tennis, volleyball, student government, NCYC, Pyros, and blood drive. Natalie Merrifield. Up next we have Angel Wynn. Angel is the daughter of Tommy Wynn and Marie Quinn. Angel participates in volleyball, tennis, robotics, student life, student leadership, NHS, student government, role play, pre-musical, and band. Angel Wynn. Our next candidate is Claire Schaefer. Claire is the daughter of Adam and Laura Schaefer. At Columbus, Claire has done the parts of speech, and theater, NHS, student government, LOTEC and Pirates, cross country, cheer, dance, tennis, soccer, mock trial, NCYC, and student leadership team. Claire Schaefer. Last but not least, we have Elise Wing. Elise is the daughter of Allison and Robert Wing. Elise has participated in several activities at Columbus, including captain of the swim team and football champion, being a part of student ambassador, like Alex and others, playing soccer and tennis along with band, rock trial, musical, all state speech, jazz band, MHS, Pirates, LOTEC, NCYC, Seven Sisters Apostles, and St. Edward's Liturgy Committee and Pastoral Council. Elise Wing. It has been a long-standing tradition that last year's queen will crown her successor. Last year, however, we had two queens, Elizabeth Lumpa and Stephanie Palmer. Elizabeth is currently attending Iowa State University with an ocean major. She is accompanied by her parents, Stephanie and Christine Lumpa. Stephanie is currently attending University of Northern Iowa, pursuing a degree in family services. She is accompanied by her parents, Maria Mario and Roberto Mendoza. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for the 2025 Homecoming Court and their parents. Every year, Columbus Seniors elect the homecoming queen. And from the court, select one of the candidates to become the homecoming queen. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time to announce this year's homecoming queen. This year's homecoming queen is going to be presented a bouquet of roses by our very own Queen Elizabeth. This year's queen is going to receive her crown at tomorrow night's homecoming dance. This year's queen is going to reign for 1 year until next year's homecoming. This year's queen is Claire Schaefer. Congratulations, Claire. Let's hear it for the queen and her court.
Well, congratulations to the entire homecoming court, and Claire Schaefer is our 2025 Columbus Catholic High School homecoming queen.
Congratulations, Claire. Absolutely. Boy, that was a good. That's a good court. My daughter's still friends with a couple of those gals down there, so good for them.
Absolutely. Wonderful job by the halftime festivities crew here at Columbus. We had a great dance routine. The homecoming court crowned Claire Schaefer, our 2025 queen. And Jeff, tell me a little bit about your chat with Thomas Faraday at halftime, and what do you want to see this out of the Sailors here in the second half?
Well, I mean, the first thing, the big thing that everybody's asking, hey, when's Thomas going to be back, man? We got to have him, you know. I mean, the guy's going like 6'4", 6'5", 250. I mean, he's going to anchor that line, and it's a pretty decent line to start with. So you're adding more fire to that line. He thinks maybe next week, but he's also prefaced that by saying the doctors keep saying next week. And I think he's getting a little bit frustrated, and you would, because this is Game 5 and Game 6 is next week, and you want to get in there and knock heads with your brothers.
Well, and we were talking too at halftime. I mean, an excellent basketball player, an incredible golfer.
Yep.
So we're not going to get too much in any high school kids' medical conditions or anything like that. But you want to make sure that you're healthy coming all the way back, and not getting yourself hurt for other future sports. Small school, you're playing a lot of roles, a lot of different sports. So
and the other big takeaway from talking to him was the support system he has at home with his folks, and then obviously with the coaching staff, the trainers, and the other athletes. Every day they're asking, man, we got your back, and he says, I got yours. And you can see him down there on the sidelines, not in street clothes. It is street clothes, but he's got his jersey on at least, and he's pumping guys up, getting them ready to go.
Well, and that doesn't get talked about a lot at every level. Pro, college, amateur, high school. The mental aspect of coming back from an injury. My son had a weightlifting accident, snapped his arm in half right before baseball season, his junior year. And so he lost his baseball season, had about a 6 to 8 week recovery trying to come back for his senior year of football. And the mental part was probably the toughest. For your young body, you're going to heal. But keeping your head in it when you're trying to recover and watching your boys out there do their thing, that's tough.
Yeah, it's always always that first, 2-3 weeks, on an extended thing that just gets you depressed. And, man, that's when you need that support system. Help get you out of bed and get you fired up and do any activity you can do. Ride the bike if you can and burn off some of that energy.
Yeah, great Sailor family that we've all been a part of for a long time. Like you said, a lot of support system here. Let's move the conversation to the second half of football. The Sailors get a late touchdown in the first half after doing quite literally nothing on their first 6 drives. They had a great 50 to 60-yard drive to end the first half to go up 7-3. They give up a field goal on the first drive to Hudson and then really shut them down the rest of the half. What do you see the game plan being here for the second half for both teams?
Well, before I get into that, let's just be honest. That first half is about as ho-hum as you can get until the very end. And then you saw a little bit of the firepower that Columbus has. I mean, it was borderline just a boring game of turnovers and penalties and ineptitude. But, that's how quick the momentum can turn right there. You score that touchdown. And then if you go back even farther, how big is it now that you held them to that very first series to a field goal? It's huge. So all the things will add up. Moving into the second half, this is what I'm seeing. I think you need to start to control that line of scrimmage, and I think they were towards the end of that first half. If you control that line of scrimmage, I think you can run the ball. Then your passes are going to be even better. And it looked like Amani was a little rusty on about the first 6-7 passes, and then he was laser sharp, the rest of the way out.
I completely agree with you that in one thing we've seen, this is one of the stronger offensive lines the Sailors have had in a few years. Last year struggled a little bit with the O-line just because they were young.
Yeah.
They had a lot of sophomores starting. Now you've got those juniors and one senior starting. I want to shout these guys out a little bit. You got Augie Trinan in there in center. We got Lucas Clark, only a sophomore, but boy, he plays bigger than that. You have Rudy Lind, you have Parker Stroh, and you got Kamante Humphrey. So really some big, strong boys. They put on a lot of muscle in the weight room. I know they've worked hard all off season for just these kind of Friday nights, and I do see that being the difference here. The other thing I'll say, other than, I'll let you talk about the line too, because I know you love those boys in the trenches, is that it is a game of turnovers. And when the Sailors have taken care of the football this year, they've won games.
I agree.
When they've turned the ball over, the opposite's happened, and they've lost games.
And even extrapolate that out one iota farther. It's turnovers and general mistakes like those penalties. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. Obviously you can do it once in a while. You can't do it over and over and over again and expect to win. And when it almost looked like they were just a little rusty, a little bit off, and now right at the end of the half, they got rolling. Now, if the defense plays good, then you don't have to score any points. But that offense needs to get on track.
Yeah, really impressed by the Sailor defense in the first half. As we kind of knew just from the stat sheet coming in, you knew Hudson was going to throw the ball. As we mentioned in the pregame, Hudson is about 1,000 yards of offense on the season. 750 of that's been through the air. Only 250 rushing yards all season, and you didn't see much rushing. They tried to run with Gunnarsson a little bit up the middle. They ran a couple sweeps with Bell, a couple with Yoder. But really, it's a lot of quick passes, a lot of 1- and 2-step drops from shotgun and get rid of the football. And I thought the Sailor defense played excellent in the run defense up front and really, really impressive pass coverage.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I thought Columbus played good defense. It all starts with that sophomore quarterback from Hudson, though. You need to contain him because I think he will. He likes to throw it all over the place, but I think he can run a little bit too. So if you can contain him, keep him off balance, I think Columbus has a good chance to finish this out and get a win.
You're 100% right. Tate Roberts from Hudson coming in with a 62% completion percentage, 730 yards passing in 4 games, and also his rush. He's rushed the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
Not for a ton of yards, but it just shows that they really like the ball in his hands, and the Sailors are going to have to continue to stop it at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it usually comes down to it's not the sexy positions, offensive line, defensive line, but that's where games are won week in and week out.
We are getting ready to start the second half here. We got a minute and a half till kickoff. Sailors leading on homecoming Friday night, 7-3. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with all your second half action. Getting ready to start the second half here at TJ McLaughlin Field. I mean, one of the most beautiful fall football nights you could possibly ask for. A perfect 72 degrees, light breeze, clear skies.
Yeah, humidity low. It's
Ooh,
perfect. Perfect
just
night.
beautiful. The stands are packed. The home crowd brought out the Thunder on homecoming night, lined up all around the fence along the end zone. Hudson with a nice little crowd there, traveling not too far across town. And the Sailors are going to get set to receive the second half kickoff.
Right before we kick off here, let's give that shout out again to Claire Schaefer, 2025 homecoming queen. And she is the daughter of Laura and Adam Schaefer. And Thomas Faraday, thanks for coming up and spending a little bit of time up in the booth.
Nesby's kickoff back to Hagedorn. Shoestring catch at the 10. He's got a little bit of room. Nice tackle there. Sealed him up at the 30. Boy, he hit that.
He came down on that
hit that
shoulder
on a
pretty
dead
hard. I
sprint.
hope he's okay. He came down that shoulder pretty darn hard.
Looks like he bounced up there.
Yeah, he
Tackled at about the 30-yard line to 29. It looks like they're going to spot it. Where the Sailors are going to take over 1st and 10 to start the third quarter, looking to add to that momentum and that 7-3 lead.
Yeah, you got a little confidence, got a little momentum headed into the half. Let's keep it rolling here in the third quarter.
like Isaac Sitzman's going to start in the backfield at running back. He's been platooning with Drew Schultz tonight. Amani Robinson at quarterback. Under center. Takes the snap. No, that's Bryce Nolan
Nolan's
at quarterback. That's hand off. And it looks like Robinson is injured on the sideline here. So it looks like we're going to get a dose of Bryce Nolan here. Might be nursing a lower half injury there. So it's going to be Bryce Nolan. He did get one start this year when Robinson was injured earlier in the season. And actually had a very, very nice game against a tough Grundy Center team. He went 6 for 9 passing with 108 yards and a touchdown. And so Nolan gets his second game action here under center. Takes the snap, hands off to Sitzman, who bounces it outside, has a little bit of room, good cut, makes the man miss, stumbles forward. Nice pickup of 6 or 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Sailors.
Good hard run by Sitzman right there.
And I've noticed that as the game goes on with Sitzman, he picks up speed.
Yeah.
He picks up speed, maybe a little hesitant, a little getting kind of used to it in the first quarter. And as the game goes on, he just seems to hit the hole quicker and quicker and quicker. And that was a nice run, bounced it outside. 3rd and 4, ball at the 36-yard line. Nolan under center, Schultz in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Schultz, who's got some room to the outside. He's broke one tackle. He's got the first down and more out to the 49-yard line. 11-yard gain, and that's good enough for a Sailor first down on their drive out of the 3rd quarter.
I'll tell you who had a great block there was number 10, Spencer Schaefer. Had a nice little kick-out block that sprung him for an extra, I bet about 6 or 8, 10 yards.
Great run by Schultz there, and the Sailors, like we talked about, are road grading here on the first drive. They're starting quarterback out, so Nolan has quarterback duties. Nice comfort level to come out and just jam it down their throat for 3 plays there. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Nolan under center. Another run. They're going to keep it on the ground. Good, hits the hole quick, maybe 3 yards there. Just some good hard blocking, good hard running here by the Sailors to open the second half.
You know, Nolan is the backup quarterback, but you alluded to it earlier. He played a pretty confident, concise game against a really good Grundy Center team, and the first time he played quarterback since junior high. So it's not like the cupboard's bare. He's a pretty good athlete.
Absolutely. Throwing some good balls against that Grundy team. One real long pass to Hagedorn we talked about earlier in the game. Now still under center. Sailors in the I formation. Hash at fullback, Schultz at running back. Hands off to Schultz, off to the left side. Sealed up after about a yard. Couldn't quite break through the first level. There was a good job by the Pirate D line there to keep that to a 1-yard gain. We've got 3rd and 5.
Well, they're keeping about 7 in the box, and then they send an extra guy. My guess is they're saying, hey, Mr. Nolan, let's see if you can throw the ball against us. We know you're going to try to run the ball.
Well, I think they're right. They recognize that they've got the backup quarterback in, so they're going to load the box, and they're going to make you beat him in the air. What they don't know is that I think the Sailors can.
Yeah.
He's got a good arm, and we've still got Owen Hash on receiver, Spencer Schaefer. You've got Monahan out wide. You got a lot of threats and a lot of weapons on the field right now. A little disorganized coming out of the huddle, which, could be part of, some guys playing out of position here because, Nolan is your starting receiver. Yeah. Him and Hash are your 2 starting wideouts, so now you take him out. It's not like Monahan and Spencer Schaefer don't play a lot of receiver, but maybe they're playing the X or the Y where maybe they're more of the slot.
Yeah, it's a little. I think they've run enough in practice though that they know this is a possibility. This can happen, and it happened all a whole game against Grundy Center. So get it together here. Take a deep breath. Having a good drive going here. Just keep it rolling.
The Sailors burn the early second half timeout with 8:26 left in the 3rd quarter. They have a 7-3 lead. They've got the ball 3rd and 6 on the Hudson, just across midfield. On the Hudson 48-yard line. See if they can keep this drive going. They've strung together a first down on a couple of nice runs by both Drew Schultz and Isaac Sitzman. really have elected to keep the ball on the ground here to start the half, and I wonder if we're not going to see Nolan's first pass attempt on 3rd and 6.
And this is really where you got to challenge your offensive line. Hey, big boys, now let's pass protect or run. It doesn't matter.
Nolan in shotgun, drops back. He's going to throw. He's got it. He's just rifles it down the field, and I think that might just be a little excitement.
Yeah.
He really let that fly, more of a line drive throw, and didn't put a lot of air under it. You just got to get him settled in and a little more comfortable back there.
Yeah, he threw the heck out of that thing.
Yeah, he rocketed that thing down the sideline. So that's going to bring up 4th and 6 at the Hudson 48-yard line. Looks like Nolan picks up the punting duties as well with Robinson sidelined. Yoder deep for Hudson. He is a good return threat. Nolan fields a snap, punts it off the side of his foot a little bit, gets a nice hop, and that's going to be down at about the Hudson 29-yard line. Well, they'll take over 1st and 10 with 8:10 left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, each team has had ample opportunities on offense. This got to be 8th or 9th drive for Hudson, and I think Columbus had the ball 8 or 9 times, of course. So
yeah, a lot of back and forth. 8, 9 drives for each team. A lot of punting, couple of picks, one for each team.
You know, we've seen games where you only get it 8 times the whole game.
Very true. Roberts back in shotgun, sends Bell in motion. Quick throw out to Bell in the flat. That looked like it's
it did.
but they called a completion.
Oh,
High tackle, but no flag. He went up around the shoulder pads. Nolan makes the tackle on the outside. Referees elect to keep the laundry in their pocket this time.
Yeah, that looked like it could have been a really, just a minor face mask, but would have been a big penalty. But once again, looked like that ball might have hit the ground.
2nd and 6. 2nd and a long 6 at the Pirate 33-yard line. Sailors still in their stout 3-4 defense. Looks like Smith, the freshman, getting some time in at D-end. Roberts in the shotgun. Hands off up the middle. That looks like maybe Colson, the sophomore running back, number 22. I believe that's his first carry of the night, if I'm not mistaken. And that's good enough for a Pirate first down.
Good run by the youngster from Hudson to get that first down.
Found a seam up the middle, got through the first layer. The linebackers of the Sailors clean it up, but not after about an 8-yard gain. And the Pirates have it 1st and 10 from their 41. Roberts in the shotgun. Looks like Colson's still in there at tailback. We haven't seen Gunnarsson yet. Throws it into traffic. About 3 guys ran curl routes, and they were all stacked up about 3 yards from each other. And Roberts threads the needle through traffic to the middle receiver there, and that is again enough for a first down. And the Pirates have something rolling on offense.
Yeah, good pass by the Hudson quarterback, and boy, you had to thread the needle because you had 3 defenders over there that, boy, if just one of those guys turns their head, they might have a chance to knock it down.
3 receivers and 3 defenders all in within about 6 yards of each other. 1st and 10, Hudson across midfield at the Sailor 48. Roberts in shotgun. Colson in the backfield. Yoder in motion. He gets the jet sweep, and he's got a little room to the outside. Monahan can't bring him down, and that's a nice open field tackle along the sideline by Bryce Noland, who's really all over the field tonight. And that's another first down for Hudson, and Columbus needs to regroup and get a stop here on defense. 1st and 10, Hudson on the Sailor 35. 6:49 left in the 3rd quarter. Roberts in the shotgun, Colson in the setback. 4 receivers, Yoder in motion again. They fake the sweep, and Colson gets it on the delayed handoff up the middle and stumbles forward. Isn't touched for about the first 8 yards of that run, and he's got 15 yards and another Hudson first down, and this is by far the best drive we've seen out of the Pirates tonight.
Yeah, offense right now for Hudson is clicking.
real quick. I wouldn't call it quite a no huddle, but it's a quick no huddle. There's still 23 seconds left on the play clock, and they're right up. They don't want to give the Sailors any time to breathe. Same exact play. They fake the end around to Yoder and do the delayed handoff to Colson right up the gut. This time the Sailors stop it, but not until Colson stumbles forward for about 6 yards. And you don't like using timeouts on defense, but this is one where, I mean, it's been boom, boom, boom. They are in a very quick, like I said, not quite no huddle, but they're at the line quickly. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Roberts in the shotgun. Yoder in motion. This time they give it to him. It looked like a hold. It's not called. Yoder's got room on the corner there, and he's going to go in, and I believe he is in. Yep, the signal's up, and he is in for the touchdown. We also have a Sailor down over along the sideline. Boy, I thought that was a hold on Humphreys. Was the DN trying to get out and string out that play, and they don't get the call, and Yoder makes the corner. Receivers blocking downfield, and they get him in for the 15-yard scamper on the end around. We have a Sailor down. We are going to take an injury timeout on the field. Looks, for those at home, looks like we're just stretching out a cramp out on the field, which is good news for all involved. And we're going to take a quick break. So let's chat about that drive a little bit, Mr. Bradley, while we stretch out. Looks like Hagedorn on the corner there is cramping up, so they're going to try to stretch him out. Certainly on your TV screen might look a little worse than it really is. They're just trying to stretch out a cramp and just taking their time, understandably so, to make sure that he can get off the field safely. Lot of quick hurry up offense there by Hudson, and really kind of had the Sailors on their heels that entire drive.
Yeah, definitely kept Columbus off balance. Some misdirection things too. Real good play calling by the Hudson coaching staff there coming out of that halftime. So they made some adjustments there that they think they can attack some different ways, and it worked for them.
And as good as the Sailor O-line looked on that first drive for the Sailors with getting a few first downs on the ground, the D-line gets kind of put back on their heels, and Hudson, like you said, made some great adjustments at halftime, comes out and scores the third quarter touchdown there on their first possession. Kick is up and good, and the Hudson Pirates are back in the lead 10-7, and we've got ourselves a ball game here.
Yeah, we do. Exactly what you wanted Columbus to do was, kind of dominate that line of scrimmage both ways, offensive and defensively. And at least to this point in the second half, it's been Hudson.
So 5:45 left in the third quarter. Hudson scored on their first possession in both the first half and the second half. 10 points, that's their only scores, a field goal in the first quarter and a touchdown in the third quarter. It'll be interesting to see. I do see Robinson down on the sideline. He does have his helmet with him. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see who comes out to play quarterback on the second series, the second half for the Sailors.
Yeah, I saw him throwing a few warm-up passes, and that might be just to, see how his legs feel under it when he gets set to throw.
Yep. We're still working on Carter Hagedorn over there on the far sideline. They've moved him over well off the field to stay out of harm's way. They're still stretching him out. And I don't know, if for the viewers at home, if you've never had a leg cramp on a warmer fall evening, they can really hurt. They're painful.
Yeah, and some of those you just you're not going to fix it now. I mean, if it's that severe of a leg cramp, it's going to stay knotted up, and maybe you get it loosened up, but you just one little twinge will make it knot up again. So.
Yeah, and he's that's a big piece on our defense. Nesby's kick down to about the 10, fielded by Drew Schultz, has a seam, stumbles up, legs cut out from under him out to about the 30-yard line. Good 21-yard return where the Sailors will take over 1st and 10.
So both teams getting a little break there with that injury timeout. And Columbus going to regroup. Looks like Amani Robinson coming back out to be the quarterback.
So Robinson brings the Sailors back to near full strength here on offense. Nolan will get to settle into his normal wideout position. Drew Schultz in the backfield. Robinson under center. Owen Hosh in motion. Handoff up to Schultz. Bounces it outside. Good read. Can't sustain the block on the outside, and he's brought down for no gain. Maybe got a half a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you're going to run that sweep to the short side of the field, man. Your blocks have to be concise and sharp, because there's just not, it's so congested then on that short side.
5:12, clock running in the third quarter. Sailors down 10-7. Want to hold on to the ball and sustain a drive and keep your defense off the field. Robinson in the shotgun, drops back, swing pass out to Drew Schultz in the flat, who's got a little bit of room, crushes through 2 Hudson Pirates. That was a big collision along the sideline, and he is really close to a first down. I think they're going to mark him just short, and we're going to have a 3rd and 1. And we have an injured Hudson Pirate. I think it was that was a big collision. Drew Schultz just put his head down and went hard into 2 Hudson defenders along the sideline there.
Yeah, but if you saw that number 50, Lucas Clark, lead block, he got a piece of somebody too, so it sure as heck could have been that.
So we're going to take a quick break, another injury timeout. Obviously, want to make sure all the players are safe. That's the number one goal of any football game at any level, but especially in high school. These kids are playing really hard. We're going to give the training crew just a minute here to work on our injured Pirate, and we'll be right back. So number 22, Hunter Colson, who's a sophomore, who actually took over the running back duties to start the third quarter for Gunnarsson. Not quite sure what the injury is, but he's walking off the field under his own power, which is always a great sign. So it looks like he's going to be okay, but walking slowly towards the Pirates sideline. Interesting to see what Hudson does to adjust on their offense. They probably have to go back to Gunnarsson, their running back, if Colson can't come back in the game.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. He did walk very slowly off the field, but
So third and a short one here. Robinson under center. Big third down play on the own 38-yard line. Robinson's going to drop and hand off. Schultz he fell down. He had the first down but slipped. No contact, and that is a heartbreaker for the Sailors. I mean, he'd have had 3-4 yards easy, and he falls down a yard short.
there was no one
Slipped on the
close to him.
grass.
He actually slipped, fell, got up, and gained 2 more yards. Of course, you're down, but he would have easily had the first down.
I'm a little surprised that they just didn't run, because Monty Robinson is a big, strong quarterback, run the quarterback seam, but I wonder if that's not what they're going to do here. It looks like the Sailors are going to go for it on 4th and 1, maybe the play of the game at this point. They hand off quick to Schultz, and he is stopped. And 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, the Sailors elect to hand the ball off instead of running the quarterback sneak, and Schultz is stopped. Slips on 3rd down and stuffed on 4th down by the D tackle and a linebacker, and the Sailors turn the ball over on downs in their own territory as Pirates take over on the Sailor 38-yard line.
Well, now the defense has to stiffen up. Cannot let Hudson get another score on the table.
Roberts in the shotgun, up 10-7. That end around to Yoder again. They like that play. That's about the 4th or 5th time they've run it. This time the Sailors string it out for about a 2-yard gain. And it'll be 2nd and 8 at the Sailor 36. They like getting the ball in Yoder's hand on that end around.
Yeah, I just think they can collapse that corner and get a decent gain out of it, and they're probably in 4-down territory themselves.
Roberts in the shotgun. Throws it complete to Yoder in the flat. Couple of Sailors trying to bring him down, still stumbling down all the way to the 15-yard line. And boy, Hudson rolling again. The Sailors got to figure this out on defense. Down 10-7. And Hudson threatening in the red zone here, 1st and 10 from the 15.
Yeah, somebody on the defensive side now needs to step up and make a play.
3:11 left in the 3rd quarter. Hudson 1st and 10 from the 15. Roberts in the shotgun. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Hands off to Gunnarsson up the middle. He's met in the hole. That's a nice job. That looked like, boy, maybe Nick Carta there, 28, filling in there in the gap. Made a nice play right up the middle to fill the gap there. 2nd and 8. 2nd and 9 maybe from the Sailor 14-yard line. And you're right, the Sailors got to find a way to hold them here. You don't want to go down 2 scores. If worst case scenario, you want to try to hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, Hudson they try to keep you off balance even by just, some quick snaps, some quick goes, and then that one they took almost the whole clock.
Hand off to Gunnarsson again. Nope, keep on the Tate Roberts on the keep. They faked it to Gunnarsson, and that goes for no gain. Sailors sniff that one out, and we're going to have a big 3rd and 8 here, and this crowd is going to be getting into it on this 3rd down.
Yeah, good job by Owen Hosh there, bringing down the quarterback for no gain. And this is a huge play because they're going to go for it. Well, they might try to kick that field goal, which wouldn't kill you, but you're going to have to step up right here on 3rd down.
Pirates come to the line. Roberts in the shotgun. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Yoder in motion. 3rd and 8. Roberts rolling out. He's got pressure on him. And the Sailors, he gets rid of it. Breaks a tackle. And looks like they got him stopped. It's about a 4-yard gain. Boy, I thought Roberts was going to get down in the backfield, and he did a nice job getting rid of it.
Well, I think that's a piece of gear on the field. I thought it's a towel. I thought it might have been a flag.
So decision time here for Hudson. 4th and 4 from the Sailor 10. Looks like they're going to go for it.
They are going to go for it.
You're 1 and 3. You're in district play. What do you got to lose here? See what the Sailors can dial up on defense. 4th and 4. Roberts in the shotgun, trying to draw the Sailors off sides with the hard count. They do a nice job. Now he's under center. Looks like they are just going to try to draw him off sides. They call the timeout. The Sailors did a great job. Good discipline there. They don't come off sides. And my guess is you'd think they might be bringing out the field goal unit now, but we'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, that just interesting call. I mean, if you're going to go for it on 4th, why not do it right there? You got the extra option, I guess, also to draw them off sides. You don't have to run a play.
You try to get the free first down, and they ran the hard count from shotgun. Then Roberts went under center and ran the hard count again. Play clock winding down as the Sailors stood strong. So Hudson elects to use their first timeout of the second half. And now it's decision time for the Pirates. They do have their kicker out there warming and stretching his leg. That's Nestby, junior place kicker.
Some of these timeouts seem a little bit longer than others, don't they? Some of them seem like they're 4 minutes, and some of them seem like 35 seconds. I'm trying to figure that out.
So a big field goal attempt upcoming. Well, now I don't know. They're going for it. There is no field goal kicker out there. They're going for it. Roberts in the shotgun. Gunnarsson in the backfield. Big 4th and 4 play. Slap. He got a man. He throws it, completes it, and it is in for the Pirate touchdown. Just a simple sit-down route there. Ran about a 3 or 4 yard hitch. Found the soft spot in the coverage, and that is a Pirate touchdown. And they take a 16-7 lead for the time being, with the extra point coming up.
Yeah, it looked like the tight end just went down exactly what you said. Found that little soft spot in the zone. Quarterback put it right on his hands. Touchdown.
Extra point snap, hold, kick, blocks. Is that a live ball in high school?
I thought it was, but they just
whistled it dead. It might not be in high school. I thought it was a live ball and you could return that. But anyway, that could end up being a big play. Now it's a 9-point, 16-7 lead by the Hudson Pirates, and we're going to take a quick timeout. So the Hudson Pirates punch one into the end zone. 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Take a 16-7 lead, and really that drive set up by the slip by the Columbus running back on 3rd down, and the stuff by Hudson on that 4th down to turn the ball over on downs.
Yeah, had a short field, but handed to Hudson Pirates. Went for it on 4th down, and it paid off for him.
Pooch kick down to the 30-yard line, fielded by Noah Evan, I believe, and had a few yards on the return. The Sailors are going to take over in decent field position here on their own 31-yard line, and you want to score some points on this one. You want to make sure you got a 2-score game right now. You want to bring this within 1 score.
Yeah, you sure do. You want to try to get that momentum back. It's 100% swung all the way to the Hudson Pirate side right now.
So Robinson in at quarterback. Sitzman in the backfield. Handoff to Sitzman. He bounces it around the edge. Gets a couple of yards there until he's popped out of bounds there. And we're going to have a 2nd and 8 coming up here. And this is what you talked about. This is where you really need your big boys up front to really grit this one out and start moving some bodies.
Yeah, and it's not, it's not so late in the game that you don't abandon the run. But you're probably going to have to put the ball in the air here. You're down 2 scores.
33 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Sailors down 9, 16-7. Robinson under center, 2nd and 8. That's Nolan in motion. Handoff up the middle to Sitzman. Not much there. He's met for no gain. And we're going to have 3rd and long coming up for the Sailors. And as each series goes down, it becomes a little bit more critical to move the chains and get those first downs.
Yeah, I think this is going to tick away to the 4th quarter here, so this could be a critical 3rd down coming up in the 4th quarter.
Looks like the Sailors are going to be content to take this down, like you said, and wind down. And that is your 3rd quarter. Hudson Pirates up 16-7 on your Sailors from Columbus Catholic on a beautiful homecoming evening here in Waterloo, Iowa, and we'll be right back.
Next week on Tuesday, September 30th, our BMAC and Columbus Cross Country teams will compete in the Jessup Cross Country Invitational. Go out and support our runners on your way to the court. Stop by the Cross Country Gym. We have varsity football trying to compete in that area. We will be celebrating this event with Cross Church in the swimming pool volleyball players. See you there.
Yeah,
We're back. Sailors on a critical 3rd and 8 on their own 34-yard line. Robinson in shotgun. Sitzman in the tailback position. Start of the 4th quarter. 4 or 5 step drop. He steps up in the pocket. He's got a man. He's got It goes through his hands. That would have been 15 yards. Good for the first down. Can't hang on to it. And the Sailors are going to have to punt here, 4th and 8, deep in their own territory.
that's another good pass by Amani there. You know, we just got to squeeze the ball and make that catch on that critical 3rd down.
Yeah, that one's about execution. It was a good touch pass. Can't bring it in. 4th and 8, Robinson back to punt. You're down 9. Start of the 4th quarter here. Still plenty of time. But Hudson has scored on their first 2 possessions of the second half, and you've got to have the defense step up here. End-over-end kick bounces at the 40. And down by the Sailors with no return. It's going to be the Hudson Pirates taking over on their own 40-yard line. So after a real defensive struggle in the first half, the Hudson Pirates have come out and scored touchdowns on their first 2 possessions in the second half, and really going to come down to that Sailor defense making some plays here.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a critical drive here. If you can't stop them scoring here, Columbus will have their back way up against it because the way they're playing right now offensively, I don't see them scoring 3 more times.
So a whistle on the field here. It looks like somebody called a timeout. I can't figure out which way the referee pointed at Hudson, but then he pointed at Columbus. So I'm not sure. Looks like the scoreboard's going to indicate that that's a Hudson timeout. They've only got 1 left for the second half. So 11:43 left in the 4th. What do you want to see here from the Sailor defense? Do you stick with what's worked? Do you make adjustments?
Yeah, I mean, obviously whatever you did in the first half was working. And either Hudson linemen have elevated their game or Columbus is, getting a little bit tired in the trenches. Regardless, you almost need another body in there. You're getting close to time where you might have to take a little risk on defense and send an extra guy and stop the, either track that quarterback or track that little pitch man because they keep running that outside pitch.
They do. They do. And the Sailors, first and 10 here, the Hudson Pirates on their own 40. Sailors in D. Roberts in the backfield. Bell in motion. Hands it off right up the middle, and he is met right in the gap. I believe, again, I feel like that's Carta. Is that 28 there that made another nice play filling the gap from the middle linebacker position? Met him right in the hole. Yeah, that's Nick Sarda.
Yeah,
Nick Sarda, there we go.
He was the first one there, and then he had a lot of help after that, but he was the first one to blow it up, correct?
He's played well. He's met a couple guys in the hole there on in the second half from that middle linebacker position. Roberts in the backfield on 2nd and 9. Looking to pitch out there to Gunnarsson. I've got a flag, and I believe that's going to be a hold.
That was definitely
and
a hold.
that is a big, big, big break for the Sailors. They're going to back them up 10 yards on the hold on the end there.
Yeah, that was easy to see. Hudson running back got that edge, and the reason he got the edge because there was a hold by the lead blocker there.
Gunnarsson started the game in the tailback position, and then Hudson elected to go with the sophomore Colson, who was injured early in the third quarter on a collision with Drew Schultz along the sideline. He has not come back in the game that I've seen, and so Gunnarsson gets called back into duties, into service here for that running back position, and the hold has Hudson backed up 2nd and 19 on their own 31-yard line. Roberts in the shotgun, 4 receivers set. Drops back. It looks like they set up a screen. Oh, they had that set up pretty nice. I got to say, there's about 3. Now there's a flag. There's about 3 Hudson linemen about 12 yards downfield on that play. Let's see if that's what they're going to call. Illegal man downfield is the call. But this is interesting. If it's a incomplete pass, I'm not so sure I wouldn't decline this and let it be 3rd and 19.
I was almost thinking that's loss of down, though, too. But I'm not 100% sure as the high school rules, the college rules, and the pro rules.
It is declined. So 3rd and 19.
But you're 100% right. They set that up correctly. Those linemen just got to, you got to have that count in your head. 1001, 1002, then you release.
And it wasn't just one of them. There was about 3 guys that left early there. So the Sailors catch a break again. 2 back-to-back penalties. And 3rd and 19 here for Hudson. Big 3rd down. Roberts in the backfield. Shotgun. Drops back. He's looking. He's scrambling. And it's through. He was an open man along the sideline. I don't think it would have been a first down. But Bell tries to make the leaping catch and falls incomplete. We got 4th and 19. The Sailors get the stop. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Spencer Schaefer may or may not have been beaten on that. But he was reading that receiver's eyes. And as soon as his eyes got a little big, you see how he put his hands up? And it did just enough that the receiver either couldn't track it or it went through his hands and out of bounds.
Nesby back to punt. Jumps a little bit for the end over end kick. Monahan, nice, clean, fair catch at the 37-yard lines. And the Sailors get just what they needed and a stop on 4th down. Down 2 scores, down 9 points with 10 minutes and 18 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Really a critical drive. I mean, I know there's lots of time, but really a critical drive to come away with points here with only 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, you just don't want it to come down to 4 or 5 minutes left and you have to score twice, and then you're taking a lot of risk. Just a good methodical drive, or hey, if you can pop something quick, that's good too. But you need to get some points probably on this drive.
Robinson in the shotgun, Schultz in the wingback, Sitzman in the backfield. Robinson drops back. He's looking downfield. He's got a man along the sideline, and Schultz can't bring it in. Boy, it's kind of a wheel route almost from the wingback position, and it was there. Just can't connect.
Good. Once again, good call by Coach Schmidt. Now just have to execute.
Like the aggressiveness, flooded this right zone. Basically, you had a couple receivers that ran the corner off, which left Drew Schultz from the wingback position kind of, I wouldn't say wide open, but definitely open along the sideline. Just not able to bring in a tough ball from Robinson.
You know what, if he catches that, he's going to rumble for some more yards.
2nd and 10, Robinson in the shotgun, dropping back, quick hitter, connects on the curl route to Hosh, stumbles his way, fights his way for about a 7-yard gain, and we're going to have a 3rd and 3 and a real big 3rd down here for the Sailors.
Yeah, I think Robinson's stats might not be real good tonight, but he's had a lot of drop balls. I think you keep passing it. We're going to catch some of these balls in the 4th quarter here.
3rd and 3, Robinson drops back. Another curl route to Hosh. He's got it. That's a 1st down, but there is a late flag. Boy, that seemed to come in pretty late from the umpire. Let's see.
It was incredibly late. So somebody said something that we might be looking at personal foul one way or another.
I don't know if it's a late hold or if it was illegal hands to the face or what we've got here. He's talking to Brad, Coach Schmidt, so that's probably a good sign. Ask him if they want to take the penalty or decline it, because the result of a play was a 1st down. The result of the play is a 6-yard gain. Let's see the signal here from the referee. But a good sign for the Sailors that it looks like they're marking it off. We have a face mask on Hudson. I think one of the linemen got up, a hand up in the face. And so, and it looks like that's the 15-yard variety. So I think what happened is that they declined the penalty, or I'm sorry, accepted the penalty instead of the result of the play. So it's 1st and 10 into Pirate territory on the 46. Robinson in the shotgun. 9.5 left to play. Drops back. He's going all the way down the field to Owen Hosh, just off his fingertips
again.
And that's a tough one because it looked like it kind of was directly over his head, like he's playing center field. And maybe if you throw that a little bit either to the middle or the outside, he can kind of catch it over his shoulder rather than over the top of his head.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a skinny post, and it wasn't quite thrown a skinny post, and just a few yards off. But that's critical few yards, almost impossible to catch it over your, looking back 100% over your shoulder.
I love the aggressiveness. The Sailors have had a couple guys open downfield. They just can't quite make the connection tonight. 2nd and 10 at the 46. Robinson in the shotgun. Drops back. Quick curl route again to Hosh. Boy, they've gone to the well a couple times on that play tonight, and that's good for another 6 yards. And we're going to be 3rd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
That's what I'm saying. This pass game actually is more productive right now than the run game. I would keep them off balance, and maybe you don't have to go right every time. You can go left to the big part of the field, isolate somebody over there, and maybe get a big play.
Definitely 4-down territory, down 9 points with 9:23 left in the 4th quarter. Robinson the shotgun, 3rd and 4 for the Sailors. Drops back, fakes it. He wants it deep again, and Hosh is open, and it's thrown out of bounds. That one sailed on Robinson a little bit deep and a little right. 3rd and 4. Incomplete is going to set up a huge 4th and 4.
I mean, you're talking a matter of a yard here or there on about 6 passes tonight that could have been touchdowns. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but have to execute those plays.
Well, and the Sailor receivers have their men beat. That's the thing about it, is it just haven't been able to make that connection. And that brings up a giant 4th and 4 here, 40-yard line. Robinson in the shotgun, 4 wide for the Sailors. Drops back, quick drop. Now he's going to run. He's going to take off. Is he going to get it? He's stumbling, fighting, and he's got the 1st down. That is a huge effort by Amani Robinson, scrambling for about a 8-yard gain on 4th and 4, but he comes up really stumbling. Boy, he looked like he took a shot there.
Yeah, he fought extra hard for that first down, got it, paid the price for it. Not coming out of the game. He's just getting the play right now from Coach Schmidt. He's jogging back in.
That's a good sign. Robinson up slow a little bit, but boy, what a gritty run there on the scramble on 4th and 4 to get a fresh set of downs and move the chains. Ball on the 34-yard line, 8:45 left in the game. Handoff to Sitzman around the left, tries to cut it up, tries to cut it back against the grain. Met by a couple of Hudson Pirates, but not before a nice 5-yard gain.
Good hard run by Sitzman. I don't think he knows any other way to run but hard, but really good gain, 5 yards. Now it gives you a couple options here on 2nd and 3rd down.
He wanted the edge, but recognized it wasn't there. Did a nice job cutting it upfield, and then actually cut back against the grain to the right and fought forward for another 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 for the Sailors. Robinson under center. Noland in motion. They fake the handoff, roll out. He's got a man, he's got a man, he's got Hush up on the goal line. It's caught out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Boy, he had his choice there. He had Smith open shallow and Owen Hosh open on the deep out.
Had two guys to choose from. Could have tucked it and ran it also for yardage, but made the right decision. Put some good touch on the ball and puts the Sailors back in business.
And the Sailors are cooking with gas here. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Down 16-7 with just under 8 minutes to play on homecoming night here in Waterloo. Robinson in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. 1st and goal from the 5. Drops back. Looking, trying to throw it away. He's caught for an interception. Are you kidding me? He gets hit and throws an end-over-end throw towards a receiver that's covered, and
little bit of panic there. You know, if you're going to throw it away, just throw it away. Don't give anybody a chance to make a play on it. That's going to cost the Sailors big time, but it's not over yet. If your defense can hold here, you can still get it back with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game.
And Hudson gets a big break. Robinson hit as he throws. Looked like he's maybe trying to throw the ball away and couldn't get enough on it. It came out of his hand kind of end over end, and the corner makes a diving interception at the 6-yard line. 1st and 10 for Hudson, and the Sailors need a defensive stop here. Handoff up the middle, trying to burn some clock, and he's got some room. I do see a flag, but they didn't blow it down, so maybe an illegal formation or illegal motion. And then there's an after the play flag. Maybe a little taunting there. This is going to be very, very interesting what happens with these 2 penalty flags. The referee, the officials are going to get together and talk about it. There's 2 flags on the play to sort out. One came out right when the snap, which usually means illegal formation. Again, the referee's coming over to talk to Coach Brad Schmidt, which is probably a good sign.
Well, either way, worst case would be offsetting because the first one you know is against Hudson. And it's going to be, you can only go 2 yards back to the goal anyway, on whatever penalty it is.
It's gonna matter what that second. Oh, it looks like they've already backed it up. So it looks like whatever they've called on the field is going to be against Hudson. We're not. The referee has not made an indication of what the penalties actually are, but they have respotted the ball half the distance to the goal. So it's going to be on the 3-yard line, and 1st and 13. We do have an injured player on the field. I can't see.
Once again, it looks like a cramp. Looks like the trainer's trying to work out a cramp, maybe in a calf area.
Warmer September day today. Beautiful night for football, but a warmer September day. And the Sailors having some cramping issues with a couple of different players tonight.
See, my point on those penalties was, I mean, you're on the 6. Almost any penalty you get is going to put you back to the 3, so it doesn't even matter if you have 1,000 penalties. they're going to move you off. We're getting carried off here.
Sean Monahan looks like he's getting carried off. Again, not serious, just a cramp for those watching at home. Keep all these boys safe here tonight. So after the penalty on first down, the Sailors in a position to do some damage on defense here. You really need a big play. You need a takeaway, a safety, something to get yourself back in the game because you're still down 2 scores with 7:37 left in the game.
Well, safeties hardly ever happen, but with the score of the game being 16-7, a safety would be right on time.
Be unbelievable in a touchdown, ties or wins, depending on what you decide to do on the extra point. Roberts under center, backed up along his own 3-yard line. Hand just stuffs it up the middle. Short gain, just trying to give themselves a little bit of breathing room. And the Hudson Pirates playing pretty conservative but smart football to get a 3-yard gain in a 2nd and 10.
But I got a 2-score lead, and I'm Hudson. I'm going to run it again, and if you stop me, you stop me, and I'll punt it away to you and score to beat me. I mean, that's
Could
my
not
attitude.
agree more with it. When you're up 2 scores, you want to run clock. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to turn it over in your own end. The Sailors here looking to strip the ball. First guy kind of holds the guy up. Maybe you're going for the ball, but playing smart football here and trying to make a play happen on 2nd and 10 from the Hudson 6-yard line. Roberts under center. Hike, little fumble the snap a little bit, but he got rid of it, and that's a big hole. And the Hudson running back stumbles forward for about a 15-yard gain. That's going to be good for a Hudson first down. And they get out from back behind their goal line and have the ball out now at the 23-yard line.
Boy, I had them backed into a big hole and just let them out. And obviously the accolades go to Hudson. I mean, their line right now is winning the battle in the trenches.
6:30 left in the game. Hudson comes out 1st and 10. I would expect them to take the play clock down here and start running clock. Roberts under center. Sailors are going to have to get stiff on D and get a stop here. Keeping the ball on the ground, not surprising. Another good hole. Gunnarsson out for about a 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play on the Sailors if they want to get back in this game. We're now under 6 minutes remaining.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game, man, and you're going to have to gamble with just over 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. You're going to have to load some more guys up and hope they keep running the ball and stop them. And you could give up a big play, but you're going to have to take that risk at this point.
Hudson in the lead, 16-7. 5:30 left in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 1. Expect them to keep the ball on the ground again here. I formation, just a quarterback sneak right up the middle. You got to go for the ball. Go for the ball. Well, I'm surprised. I mean, come on. You got to blow the call. What are they doing? You can't just sit there and have a rugby scrum in high school football. You got to blow that dead.
But the result of that is Hudson getting another first down.
Out to the 45-yard line. The drive started on their own 6. The penalty on a first down had it backed up all the way to their own 3-yard line. And now Hudson out all the way to their 45. And even if you don't get points, this drive did what you needed it to do, and you flipped the field, and more importantly, you burned a bunch of clock.
Yeah, you really need to start digging in for that ball right now and try to get a turnover.
Roberts under center is just going to choose to quarterback sneak again, and now at this point, they really are just burning clock. And I wonder when Coach Schmidt's going to have to start using your timeouts on defense, probably a little early for that.
Yeah.
But maybe if you get a stop here and you get to 3rd down, you're probably calling a timeout to save yourself about 30 seconds. Down 2 scores, down 9 points, 16-7, 4:20 left in the 4th quarter. Hudson taking their time. Good to see Hagedorn back out there after the cramp at the corner position. 2nd and 7. 4 minutes. Roberts hands off up the middle. Great job by the Sailor defense on 3rd, and I wonder, and Brad does call a timeout here. Saves himself 3:55 and it's going to be a big, big 3rd and 7. And the Sailors are going to have to find some magic here to get back in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it starts right now on this down, and my guess is if you can stop them with no gain, they're going to punt because they're going to try to bury you deep. They won't go for it and give you, a decent field position.
Yeah, no question.
But yeah, imperative you stop them here, and then it's your back's up against the wall right now. 3:55 left and down 2 scores.
And it's always a little precarious here, too, because you expect them to come on just hand the ball off, right? But, some teams, they're 1-3. They got nothing to lose. It's a district game. You could see a play action and try to catch the Sailors sleeping and go for the touchdown. You see teams do that all the time. But more than likely, they're just going to try to run clock and put the Sailors in a tough position with just under 4 minutes left in the football game. Third and 7. Ball at the 48-yard line. Roberts under center. I formation. Yoder split by himself to the left. 2 tight ends set. Trying to draw the Sailors off sides. Hasn't worked tonight. Now he gets the snap. Hands off up the middle. Great defense. Nice D-line work there and nice fill by the linebackers.
Coach going to call another timeout.
Sailors use their final timeout to stop the clock with 3:50, and I like that because, you have much more control over stopping the clock when you're on offense. Any incomplete pass, you get out of bounds. So trying to save the time here, down 2 scores with 3:50 left. So now the one thing about it is that you don't have to score a touchdown on your next drive. They get the punt here. You can, what you'll see a lot of teams down, if they're down less than 10 or 11 points, is you can take the field goal first.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which order they come from. And sometimes if you get a decent drive and you stall out in the other end, you can kick the field goal and then come back to live for the onside kick or a deep Hail Mary or something like that. So some options and some life left in the Sailors here is they've held Hudson to a 4th and 6.
But the big point is you're going to have to score quick regardless of what it is. If you don't get an onside kick, because you have to get an onside kick now, unless you score on this very next play. If you would score, otherwise they're going to run the clock out, and we have no way to stop the clock.
Max protection in for Hudson on the punt. Sailors rush, end-over-end kick. Drew Schultz back to receive it on the bounce. Makes one man miss. Good return out to about the 23-yard line. But as we said, Hudson does their job on offense and flips the field completely. And we talked about it early in the game. In high school football, it's turnovers. 2 picks and a stopped 4th down, which is just as good as a turnover. So really the Sailors turned over 3 times tonight and find themselves with a long field here and 3.5 minutes left in the game.
And the big one, obviously, is the one, just a few series ago where you're getting close to scoring one way or another, a field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah, first and goal from the 5.
And Kimu had no points. That would flip the momentum and give you a chance to win the ball game.
Robinson in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Drops back, looking to throw, rolling out, scrambling around. He's going to run for it. Smart. Gets out of bounds. About a 5-yard gain. Down along the sideline, slow to get up. 2nd and probably 6, but stops the clock more importantly on the scramble out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice 5-yard game, but that will not cut it. I mean, you're going to have to get some chunk yardage here to have any chance to win this ball game.
You're going to have to push the ball downfield here. Like we said, you need 2 scores, whether it comes in a field goal touchdown or touchdown field goal combination. Robinson back. He's going to go deep for it. Hosh downfield, and that ball is picked off by Hudson. They had double coverage down there. Owen Hosh went for the ball, trying to play a little center field, and that is the 3rd interception for the Sailors. And that one with no timeouts and 3:20 left is probably going to do it.
Yeah, they probably have to get one more first down, but boy, Barron, just almost a homecoming miracle.
Yeah.
The Sailors are up against it right now.
And these are the games you're going to talk about and look at film is that you really don't feel, I mean, I'll give all the credit to Hudson, but you don't really feel like they came in and beat you. You feel like you shot yourself in the foot and you kind of beat yourselves tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it, and I think, just think all those missed opportunities on passes that weren't quite where they should have been or were drops. You had both those.
Couple of Sailor drops, a couple of just near misses on some deep balls. Some of those nights you're just clicking and rolling and everything's in rhythm, and the Sailors just struggled a little bit tonight. Had that one real nice drive, but couldn't find that and couldn't find that magic on a repeated series tonight. 2:44, clock running. Hudson looking to come in and play homecoming spoiler. Roberts under center. Looks like a flag. Looks like maybe we had some late motion. Nope, we had a timeout there as the play clock was running down. Hudson trying to milk every minute or every second off the play clock, obviously. And they're going to take a timeout. We're going to take a real quick break up here, and we will be back with the last 2:29 left in the game.
Fans, before the end of the game, we'd appreciate your help in keeping the stadium clean. If you could share tonight's football game, take a minute, pick up your area and victory. Thank you for your support and cooperation.
Back at TJ McLaughlin Stadium in Waterloo, Iowa. 2:29 left in the fourth quarter. Hudson in control, 16-7, up 9. Just looking to run the clock out here. Roberts under center. Runs the quarterback sneak just into the line there. Sailors out of timeouts. That clock will continue to tick in a 40-second play clock as soon as they set the ball. Now down to 2:13 left in the game. So you go into week 6. You'll be 1-1 in the district.
Correct.
You had some momentum on the Jessup game. Had a few too many mistakes tonight. If you're the Sailors looking ahead at the schedule, you go to Sumner Fredericksburg next week, who's had a little bit of a down year. I believe they're starting quite a few freshmen and sophomores this year, so you hope you can go up and get the W next week to put you 2-1 in the district. But then you finish with probably two tougher teams in the district at home against Union and home against Applington Parkersburg. What are you looking to see out of the Sailors in the last 3 weeks of the season here?
Well, I think it'd be the same as if you asked Coach Schmidt. Man, you just have to make improvement for week to week. And it looked like Columbus had made improvement, actually week to week, even in a couple of those losses. Took a little step back here with the penalties got cleaned up in the second half, but your line got dominated a little bit, and then you didn't make the plays you could have, and then we made obviously a couple turnovers. You just cannot do it on this level.
Well, and I got to say, the one bright spot here for the Sailors tonight, I felt like the defense played very good. You gave up the one long pass in the first play of the game and gave up the field, but held them to a field goal. You gave up one good drive in the second half, but that second drive, was set up kind of by the stop on fourth down on a short field. And so I felt like the defense played pretty well. D-line, coverage, linebackers all together. Where I'm sure the focus is going to be is in cleaning up the passing game, cleaning up the turnovers, cleaning up the false starts and the pre-snap penalties. Like you said, when you're playing hard, holding calls are going to happen. They're not always great, but they're not always mental mistakes either. Sometimes you're just trying to make a play.
Yeah.
But the pre-snap penalties and the turnovers is just something that is hurt the Sailors in their games that they've been beat this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt a lot of self-inflicted pain when you're watching film. Boy, I don't want to be in that film room because, we've all made mistakes. And Monday morning, depending on when you watch film, Sunday or Monday, you're watching that film, and it hurts. You know you're better than that, but you've got to clean it up, and you've got to be mentally in tune, physically and mentally in tune to play a football game.
Roberts in victory formation there, downs it, and that is going to do it for this football game. The Hudson Pirates are homecoming spoilers to the Sailors, are going to get out of Waterloo with a 16-7 victory on a night where we saw a lot of punts, saw a lot of turnovers, we saw a lot of penalties, but the Hudson Pirates, give them credit, they stuck it out and made the plays when they needed to. Just a few many mistakes by the Sailors, and they will fall to 2-3 on the season. Interesting enough, Hudson with the win goes to 2-3 as well.
Yeah, and 2-0 in the conference.
But 2-0 in the district, which is really big. Sailors are 1-1 in the district. Well, that is going to do it here for myself, Marcus Chelson, and Jeff Bradley up in the booth. A big thank you to Brandon from B2 Productions for all the streaming capabilities. Also, thank you to Julie, our athletic director here, and all of the wonderful Sailor sponsors. Enjoy the rest of your homecoming week. Hey, congratulations once again to Claire Schaefer.
Absolutely.
Homecoming Queen 2025. That'll do it for us. Next week, the Sailors are at Sumner Fredericksburg and trying to play homecoming spoiler up there to the Cougars.
Yeah, and then get a little momentum and then finish strong with 2 home games.
The Hudson Pirates finished their last 3 weeks with Union, at AP, and at Jessup for their 3 district games and look to improve on their 2-0 district record. Jeff, always a pleasure.
Very good. Thank you, Marcus.
We'll see you next time.
Have a good night.